You're tuned in to the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network. Today's Long Island Ducks game broadcast will begin shortly. Every game this season will be broadcast live on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network with high-definition video and audio via Boxcast. Fans can tune into the game on the Ducks' official Facebook page or YouTube channel, as well as the team's official website, liducks.com. Thank you for tuning in, and stand by for complete coverage of today's game. The box office is now open for 2018 individual ticket sales. Box office hours are Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can also purchase your tickets by calling 631-940-TIXX, going online to liducks.com, or visiting our mobile app. Season ticket packages and 10-game mini plans for the 2018 season are also available. To find out more information and secure your seats, please dial extensions 115 or 116 to speak with someone in our ticket office. Get your business recognized by hundreds of thousands of Long Islanders by taking advantage of the advertising and sponsorship opportunities currently available with the Long Island Ducks. For more information, please dial extension 106 or check us out on the web at liducks.com. The Ducks offer many packages available for groups with as little as 25 people to as many as 2,000. We offer block seating, pregame and in-game picnics, luxury suites, our exclusive Smokin' Owls party deck, and so much more. In addition, groups have the opportunity to take part in a variety of experiences, such as performing the national anthem or taking the field with the Ducks as the dream team. Group ticket packages for the 2018 season are now on sale. For more information on Ducks group outings, please dial extension 124 during normal business hours to speak with our Director of Group Sales. Looking for official Long Island Ducks merchandise, hard-to-find memorabilia, team apparel, and so much more? Then be sure to check out the Waddle Inn Shop, the official merchandise store of the Ducks. Fans can visit the shop online anytime at liducks.com by clicking the merchandise icon. For more information, please contact our Merchandise and Client Relations Manager at extension 110. Children 14 and under can become members of the Bethpage Federal Credit Union Long Island Ducks Kids Club today. Kids will receive a unique gift package and take part in a variety of fun activities that come with being a member of the Kids Club. For more information on how to sign your child up, please contact the Community Relations Department at extension 102. Quacker Jack, the 8-time Best Long Island mascot, is now available for appearances at parties and other special events throughout the Long Island community. Please contact the Community Relations Department at extension 102 to find out more information and to book an appearance. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network. Today's game will begin momentarily. You're tuned in to the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network. Today's Long Island Ducks game broadcast will begin shortly. Every game this season will be broadcast live on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network with high-definition video and audio via Boxcast. Fans can tune into the game on the Ducks' official Facebook page or YouTube channel, as well as the team's official website, liducks.com. Thank you for tuning in, and stand by for complete coverage of today's game. The box office is now open for 2018 individual ticket sales. Box office hours are Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can also purchase your tickets by calling 631-940-TIXX, going online to liducks.com, or visiting our mobile app. Season ticket packages and 10-game mini plans for the 2018 season are also available. To find out more information and secure your seats, please dial extensions 115 or 116 to speak with someone in our ticket office. Get your business recognized by hundreds of thousands of Long Islanders by taking advantage of the advertising and sponsorship opportunities currently available with the Long Island Ducks. For more information, please dial extension 106 or check us out on the web at liducks.com. The Ducks offer many packages available for groups with as little as 25 people to as many as 2,000. We offer block seating, pregame and in-game picnics, luxury suites, our exclusive Smokin' Owls party deck, and so much more. In addition, groups have the opportunity to take part in a variety of experiences, such as performing the national anthem or taking the field with the Ducks as the dream team. Group ticket packages for the 2018 season are now on sale. For more information on Ducks group outings, please dial extension 124 during normal business hours to speak with our Director of Group Sales. Looking for official Long Island Ducks merchandise, hard-to-find memorabilia, team apparel, and so much more? Then be sure to check out the Waddle Inn Shop, the official merchandise store of the Ducks. Fans can visit the shop online anytime at liducks.com by clicking the merchandise icon. For more information, please contact our Merchandise and Client Relations Manager at extension 110. Children 14 and under can become members of the Bethpage Federal Credit Union Long Island Ducks Kids Club today. Kids will receive a unique gift package and take part in a variety of fun activities that come with being a member of the Kids Club. For more information on how to sign your child up, please contact the Community Relations Department at extension 102. Quacker Jack, the 8-time Best Long Island mascot, is now available for appearances at parties and other special events throughout the Long Island community. Please contact the Community Relations Department at extension 102 to find out more information and to book an appearance. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network. Today's game will begin momentarily. You're tuned in to the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network. Today's Long Island Ducks game broadcast will begin shortly. Every game this season will be broadcast live on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network with high-definition video and audio via Boxcast. Fans can tune into the game on the Ducks' official Facebook page or YouTube channel, as well as the team's official website, liducks.com. Thank you for tuning in, and stand by for complete coverage of today's game. The box office is now open for 2018 individual ticket sales. Box office hours are Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can also purchase your tickets by calling 631-940-TIXX, going online to liducks.com, or visiting our mobile app. Season ticket packages and 10-game mini plans for the 2018 season are also available. To find out more information and secure your seats, please dial extensions 115 or 116 to speak with someone in our ticket office. Get your business recognized by hundreds of thousands of Long Islanders by taking advantage of the advertising and sponsorship opportunities currently available with the Long Island Ducks. For more information, please dial extension 106 or check us out on the web at liducks.com. The Ducks offer many packages available for groups with as little as 25 people to as many as 2,000. We offer block seating, pregame and in-game picnics, luxury suites, our exclusive Smoke and Owls party deck, and so much more. In addition, groups have the opportunity to take part in a variety of experiences, such as performing the national anthem or taking the field with the Ducks as the dream team. Group ticket packages for the 2018 season are now on sale. For more information on Ducks group outings, please dial extension 124 during normal business hours to speak with our Director of Group Sales. Looking for official Long Island Ducks merchandise, hard-to-find memorabilia, team apparel, and so much more? Then be sure to check out the Waddle Inn Shop, the official merchandise store of the Ducks. Fans can visit the shop online anytime at liducks.com by clicking the merchandise icon. For more information, please contact our Merchandise and Client Relations Manager at extension 110. Children 14 and under can become members of the Bethpage Federal Credit Union Long Island Ducks Kids Club today. Kids will receive a unique gift package and take part in a variety of fun activities that come with being a member of the Kids Club. For more information on how to sign your child up, please contact the Community Relations Department at extension 102. Quacker Jack, the 8-time Best Long Island mascot, is now available for appearances at parties and other special events throughout the Long Island community. Please contact the Community Relations Department at extension 102 to find out more information and to book an appearance. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network. Today's game will begin momentarily.
This is Long Island Ducks Baseball. Justin Davies at the plate. The winning run at third. Crowd going nuts. Swung on. Bouncing ball left side. Off the mitt. Up third baseman Brad Strauss. Here comes Willie Rodriguez. Justin Davies has done it again. The Ducks are one crack away from the championship.
Jason Johnson makes the catch. He makes the catch. And the Long Island Ducks have swept the Camden River Sharks. They are the 2004 Atlantic League champions.
Going back is Adam Bailey. He settles under it. He makes the catch. Adam Bailey makes the catch. And for a second straight year, the Atlantic League trophy will reside on Long Island. The Ducks are the Atlantic League champions.
Swinging a ground ball, hit toward short, charging in his lines. He fields, throws to first. The comeback is complete. From 2-0 down in the series, the Long Island Ducks have won 3 in a row at home. And for the 5th time in franchise history, they will head to the Atlantic League Championship Series.
And now it's time for the Long Island Ducks pregame show.
We are live here at Bethpage Ballpark in central Islip, New York. It is time once again for Long Island Ducks baseball. And on this sunny Sunday afternoon, this is it. One game, winner takes all. It is Game 5 of the Atlantic League Championship Series as the Long Island Ducks take on the Sugarland Skeeters for the right to claim themselves the 2018 Atlantic League champions. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome inside Bethpage Ballpark. Michael Pollock alongside Chris King. Thanks so much for tuning in here on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network. A 126-game regular season, a pair of grueling 5-game series, one for each team in the first round, and of course, after the Ducks fell behind 2-0 here in the Atlantic League Championship Series, they have rallied back, and once again, it'll be Game 5 in this Atlantic League Championship Series, the Ducks and the Skeeters for the right to be champions.
And Michael, how fitting that we heard your great call there. The comeback is complete. Of course, when the Ducks came back from 2-0 down to beat the Somerset Patriots in the Liberty Division Championship Series, now trying to do the same in the Atlantic League Championship Series against these Sugarland Skeeters. But clearly Long Island has momentum on their side. They came home from Texas down 0-2, but on Friday night, a dramatic 3-2 victory that they pulled out with a big David Washington homer in the bottom of the 8th. And last night kind of got the drama out of the way early, scoring 6 runs in the first 3 innings on their way to the 6-3 victory that got them to this afternoon.
Huge performance from the offense yesterday early in the game, as you mentioned. That is obviously so key, especially in these postseason games, and especially in front of your home crowd. You want to get your home crowd loud and behind you early, putting the pressure on the other team. Of course, Dennis O'Grady was the story, Long Island native. 7 strong innings of 2-run baseball, getting a chance to pitch here in front of family and friends, and what a special moment it was for him last night.
Absolutely, and now today each team goes with their ace. We get a pair of southpaws going head-to-head. James Russell for Sugarland, Jake Fisher for Long Island, just the way it should be. These two both had quality starts in Game 1 of this series. Neither got a decision. Of course, that went to Sugarland in 13 innings, but we expect a similar classic game with, again, everything on the line for both teams. You want your best pitcher going, and both have that available on 4 days rest because of the travel day that both had on Thursday.
Yeah, typically when there is no travel day in between, like there is for a series that involves the Skeeters with those plane flights down and back from Sugarland, you have your Game 1 starter potentially coming back on short rest. Instead, Fisher and James Russell will both be on normal rest. When you go back and you think about Game 1, certainly the Ducks had Russell on the ropes early. They had the 3-run home run in the first inning from Lou Ford, and they had multiple opportunities over those first 5 innings, but left 9 men on base. For the Ducks to be successful tonight, they're surely going to have to be able to capitalize on those opportunities should they come again early.
And I think the key for Long Island, Michael, is keep that momentum on their side. They seemed so down and out when they arrived here on Friday night, but David Washington's home run changed the complexion of the entire series. The Ducks are down in the bottom of the 8th inning. They're 4 outs away from having their season over. He hits the 2-run homer. They win the game. They roll last night with 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, and then O'Grady was just on cruise control the rest of the way. So the complete momentum is on the side of Long Island, and right now all the pressure is on Sugarland. They came here up 2-0, needing only to win 1 game. They never expected to be here Sunday afternoon. The Ducks hoped they would, and indeed they are.
Long Island felt that pressure in round 1. They went up 2-0 at home against Somerset in the Liberty Division Championship Series, went on the road, saw the Patriots win Game 3, the Patriots win Game 4, the Ducks found a way in Game 5. Now today the Sugarland Skeeters, who have the 2-0 lead, they're going to want to try and find a way in Game 5, but obviously the Ducks are going to need to find a way to make sure that that doesn't happen fortunately for them, they're in their home ballpark.
Exactly. The Ducks are a perfect 4-0 in the Atlantic League playoffs this year, and the home team has won all 4 games in this series. Long Island hopes that trend continues.
Well, we will see if that does indeed continue. We'll take a break here on the pregame show. When we come back, Chris King sits down with Long Island Ducks manager Kevin Baez to get ready for Game 5.
Hey fans, this is Bud Harrelson, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
Going way back is Joe Holden, and he is looking up, and that one is headed to field 5 at Robert Moses. The waves are gnarly, and the Ducks have tied it at 1.
That was another home run for the Ducks. And Duck fans, what's more fun than a home run that helps the Ducks win a game? How about a homer that helps the community win? Chappie's Funeral Home and the Long Island Ducks have once again teamed up for the Chappie's Home Run Challenge. If the Ducks hit 100 homers this season, Chappie's Funeral Home will donate $5,000 to the Quackerjack Foundation. So every time a Ducks hitter goes deep this season, watch for the Chappie's Challenge home run count on the scoreboard. And if we reach 100, we're all a winner. Chappie's Funeral Home, where caring for others is a family tradition.
Can't get enough of the Long Island Ducks? Well, now you can get even more inside info on your favorite hometown team through Facebook and Twitter. The Ducks are constantly updating fans through social media with scores, transactions, ballpark promotions, and much more. You can even win great prizes. All you'll need to do is make a free account on Facebook and Twitter, and then visit us at facebook.com/LIDucks and twitter.com/LIDucks. Think you're Long Island's biggest Ducks fan? Get connected now.
Chris King and Michael Pollock back at Bethpage Ballpark before this Game 5 of the Atlantic League Championship Series between the Long Island Ducks and the Sugarland Skeeters. Again, the Ducks trying to claim their 4th title in franchise history. The Skeeters trying to get their 2nd. Well, last night it was all about Dennis O'Grady. The Floral Park native tossed 7 innings of 6-hit, 2-run ball, and the Ducks' 6-3 victory that got them to the deciding 5th game. O'Grady appeared so comfortable the entire evening, and that's where I begin my conversation about him with Kevin Baez.
Yes, I mean, you hit it on the head. He looks so comfortable, but you know what? He wants to be in that situation. He wants to be in that moment. And, you know, when we were talking about, you know, looking for a starting pitcher, we went to him and Barcelo, and those 2 guys that we had on our team, and they both, you know, willing and wanting to take the ball, and both of them did outstanding. And O'Grady was, I mean, can't say enough of what the job he did yesterday for us.
What about your offense, Kevin, putting up 6 runs in the first 3 innings for him?
That was, you know, pretty important, obviously. They had a good pitcher in there on the other side, Beeler, and, you know, we knew it was going to be a tight game, but he struggled early, and we took advantage of it.
Take me back to Friday night. You're 4 outs away from your season being over, and David Washington hits a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 8th to win the game.
Thrilling. You know, he's hit some big homers for us, and when he has the bat in his hand and he's up at batter's box, there's always a chance. And last night, the night before, he came through for us.
What's your mindset going into this deciding Game 5? You've been here twice before, and you've won both times.
The mindset is, you know, enjoy this moment and relish the opportunity that we have. Looking back when we came back from Sugarland and we were down 0-2, we were looking forward to Sunday. So here we are Sunday. The opportunity is in front of us, and, you know, have fun with it and take advantage of it.
All right, let's talk pitching today. You give the ball to Jake Fisher. He's had an incredible season, especially against these Skeeters.
Yeah, he's a big game pitcher, too. He's a guy that wants the ball, not afraid of the moment, and you know, we feel like he's the right guy for the game, and we're looking forward to a great game from Fisher.
What did you see from their southpaw, James Russell, in Game 1?
He struggled early. I think we scored 3 runs in the first inning, but then he settled down. I mean, he's one of the top pitchers in the league. He's got a good plus fastball, good command on his pitches. So, you know, it's going to be a good game. It's who's going to execute, who's going to get to make the plays, who's going to make that quality pitch in a big situation. So, you know, exciting Game 5.
Does it help you, Kevin, to having been through this Game 5 of a championship series before? Obviously, you won it here in 2012 on Dan Lyon's bunt, and you won it 2013 in Somerset on Rain Everett's big homer.
Yeah, I'm sure it helps experience. You know, obviously that's important, but it's still thrilling. And again, I try to enjoy the moment too. And my message to the guys was, you know, it's a baseball game. Yes, it's Game 5, but try not to put added pressure on them and stress. Everybody knows it's Game 5. I don't have to tell them that. You know, just go out and play the game. And when you relax and you have fun and you slow the game down, usually you get good results. So I'm trying not to put added pressure on them.
What Kevin, on this final interview we do this year, let's take a look back at some of the special moments. Start with, clinching your playoff spot in extra innings in game number 125 on the second to last day of the year.
That's why I'm getting extra gray hairs in my hair. But, it didn't come easy. We battled the second half and then fought through, and it came down to, second to last game of the season against Sugarland, in Sugarland, where, they play really well, and we usually don't. And we wound up taking 4-6 there. So, credit to the guys, never quitting, and that was the message the whole year. Just keep playing the game until it's over, and at the end of the night or end of the day, you look in the mirror, and that's all I could ask for yourself, and you ask for yourself as well. So, usually good things happen that way.
Kevin, another tough place to win is Somerset. You're in the deciding game there. You're down, you tie it, and you win in extra innings.
Again, just nail biting, pressure cookers, and so that's good. That's good and bad. It's good that we've lived through it, played through it. Bad that we have to go through it, and I'm biting my nails or whatever. But you try to slow the game down. You try to stay positive. You try to enjoy the moment, and we've had good results.
Let's touch on some of the regular season highlights. Kevin, you hosted the All-Star game here. You got to manage it, and you got to win for the first time, and, of course, that was walk-off as well.
Yeah. It's been an exciting year, so hopefully we could cap it off with another exciting W today.
And how about for you and me? I know one of the most emotional nights was August 3rd when we both were out there to honor Bud Harrelson.
Very emotional. Obviously everybody knows what Buddy's meant to me and still means to me. Just a great man, a great baseball man, but a lot of people don't realize the person he is, and we do, and most people do, I guess. But I know the Buddy Harrelson person, and just such a great guy. So it was a special night for a special person.
Kevin, thank you for your time all season, and best of luck today.
Thank you very much, Kinga.
Again, that's Ducks manager Kevin Baez.
That was Lee Ann Brill with another terrific rendition of our national anthem. A great way to get us started for Game 5 of the Atlantic League Championship Series. It's the Long Island Ducks. It's the Sugarland Skeeters. One game for all the marbles, as they like to say. The winner tonight is the 2018 Atlantic League champions. For the Ducks, they're going for their fourth championship in team history, first since 2013. For the Skeeters, going for title number 2 in franchise history, and their first since 2016. So it'll be Jake Fisher for the Ducks, James Russell for the Skeeters, a matchup of left-handers on the mound. Chris King, take us through our starting lineups.
Well, first for Pete Incaviglia's Freedom Division champion Sugarland Skeeters, Barrett Barnes leads it off in left. Anthony Jansani, the two-man in center. Doric Norris will catch and hit third, and Juan Silverio is the shortstop and cleanup man. Matt Chavez at first base swings fifth. In the sixth hole, it's Albert Cordero, the third baseman. Batting seventh, the right fielder Tony Thomas. Hitting eighth, the DH Dennis Phipps. And batting ninth, Javier Betancourt, the second baseman. On the hill, the left-hander James Russell. Again, in the regular season, he led the Atlantic League in ERA at 2.36. For Kevin Baez, Liberty Division champions, Jordani Valdespin leads it off at second. Daniel Fields in center field bats second. Hitting third, it's the captain, Lou Ford, who's in left today. Ramon Cabrera will DH and hit cleanup. David Washington at first base bats fifth. Deanna Navarro will catch and hit sixth. Miles Williams in right batting seventh. In the 8-hole, Cody Puckett, the third baseman, and trying to win his third Atlantic League championship tonight with the Ducks is the shortstop and nine-man Dan Lyons. All of that in support of the left-hander Jake Fisher, who so far in the postseason is 1-0 with a 1.98 ERA in 2 starts. And, Michael, one of those, this exact same pitching matchup, Game 1, down in Sugar Land, Texas. You were there on Tuesday night when both Fisher and Russell had quality starts. Neither factored into a decision as the Skeeters won at 5-4 in 13 innings.
The Ducks got off to about as best of a start in that game as you could get. 3 batters in. They had a 3-0 lead thanks to Lou Ford's 3-run home run. But then Russell was able to find his way into and out of trouble, ended up stranding several runners on base, 9 over the first 5 innings. Ducks want to make sure that doesn't happen again. Jake Fisher got off to a great start in that game, struggled a bit in the 5th, but then finished his start strong. And you really could not ask for a better pitching matchup tonight, a better scene and better weather for tonight's game. Let's do it. Game 5 Atlantic League Championship Series. Winner takes it all here at Bethpage Ballpark. First pitch of the game on the way from Jake Fisher. Barrett Barnes takes a strike, and we are underway.
Start time of the ball game is 5:05.
Right on time, 5:05 the first pitch. Final game of the year, no matter what happens here tonight. From the windup, here is Fisher's 0-1, and Barnes will hit this one on the ground foul down the first base line. Quickly, 0-2 on Barnes.
Transportation Services temperature on today's ball game is 68 degrees.
What more can you ask for? 68-degree temperatures, clear skies overhead, the sun continuing to set behind the third base stands. Just a really great scene for this deciding game of what has been an incredible Atlantic League Championship Series between these two teams, and really, arguably, the best postseason the Atlantic League has ever seen. Here comes the 0-2. Fisher getting the sign from Deanna Navarro. The kick, the pitch, on the ground is short. Dan Lyons gobbles it up, throws on to David Washington at first for the out, and there's one away here in the top of the first inning.
Well, Micah, you touched on it. It is the first time in Atlantic League history that all 3 series go the distance. It took the Ducks 5 games to get here in the opening round. It took the Skeeters the same, and now these two teams have reached Game 5. So it truly has been an historic postseason in the Atlantic League.
And, of course, both of those Game 5s in the first round needed extra innings to decide it. The Ducks in 10 in Somerset get the win. The Skeeters at home in 10 get the win. And then, of course, Game 1 of this series went 13 innings. First pitch breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 1 to Anthony Cinsanti, the right-handed hitting center fielder, batting in the number 2 spot for the Skeeters. .295 average during the regular season. Here comes the 0-1. And another good curveball cut on in this for strike 2.
Well, Jake Fisher has just dominated these Sugarland Skeeters in the regular season. 4 starts, a 3-1 record with a 0.67 ERA. He held them to 1 run or less, Michael, in all 4 outings.
Was great there, and then through 6 2/3 innings of 2-run ball in game number 1. Ground ball again to short. Lyons again fields and throws to Washington. 2 batters, 2 groundouts to short, 2 away in the first.
And Jake's numbers here at home against Sugarland are amazing. 2 starts, 2-0, Michael. 15 innings pitched, has not allowed a run of any kind to the Skeeters. Walking 2, striking out 17. That is total domination of this team he's facing today here at the Duck Pond.
As Kevin Baez said, he's the guy you want on the mound in this situation. Obviously, it was a toss-up for him at the beginning of the series, whether to go with Fisher or Larkins for Game 1. Of course, Larkins saving Game 5 in Bridgewater, New Jersey might have made the decision a little bit easier. First pitch misses down and away for ball 1, but either way, Fisher is on the mound here at home, trying to pitch the Ducks to their 4th Atlantic League Championship.
And Matt Larkins was there when I interviewed Kevin today, and Kevin said, "Matt, you ready to go?" Matt said, "I'm ready, so if he has to use him, he will."
1-0. This one just misses the outside corner for ball 2. When you get to these Game 5 situations, usually it's all hands on deck on both sides. Obviously, an elimination game for both of these teams. Winner goes home with the trophy. Loser goes home just as a division champion. Here is the 2-0 delivery. Norris takes off the outside corner, and Fisher has missed with 3 straight here to the Skeeters 3-hitter.
Yeah, there's a baseball term for that. When you say who's pitching today, managers sometimes say Johnny All-Staff. So basically everybody on the staff is available because there is no tomorrow for either side.
So Norris trying to work his way on here with 2 outs, the 3-0 delivery, and that up and away for ball 4. A 2-out walk issued by Jake Fisher, and the Skeeters have their first base runner of the evening. So Derek Norris is able to draw the walk. Manager Pete Incaviglia had gone with the same starting lineup pretty much in each of the first 3 games of this series, but has now switched things up over the past 2 days. Today, obviously, Javier Betancourt going in there, getting the start for the first time in this series. Moves Norris to the number 3 spot in the order. Now the cleanup hitter and shortstop, Juan Silverio, will come to the plate. Silverio hit 2nd in the order in Game 3 here, 5th yesterday, and now right sandwiched in between in the 4th spot. Fisher from the stretch, his first pitch. Silverio grounds this one up the third baseline foul. And that'll run the count to 0-1.
Yeah, really, it's Incaviglia going with Betancourt, the righty swinger, as opposed to Alvaro Rondon, the lefty. And that now gives him, Michael, 9 right-handed hitters against lefty Jake Fisher. He's got 8 straight righties, and then Albert Cordero's a switch hitter who, of course, will bat from the right side as well. So difficult task for Fisher, but he's handled it well all year.
And if you just look at based on batting average during the regular season, Fisher actually held righties to a 276 average. Lefties hit 293 against him. Not a tremendous split, but certainly a difference. Fisher misses way up and outside here with the off-speed pitch. Just seemed to tail up and away, and that'll even up the count at 1-1 on Silverio. No scores. We play top of the first inning. 2 down and a runner at first. That is the catcher, Derek Norris, does not have blazing speed. David Washington holding him on as Fisher looks in for the sign from Navarro. Here's the 1-1. Fastball, missed the inside corner, and the count goes to 2-1. Tim Rosso, the home plate umpire tonight, he calls balls and strikes. Ryan Benson over at first base this evening. Derek Moshe, the second base umpire, and Fred DeJesus is around at third, the 4-man umpiring crew here for Game 5 of the Atlantic League Championship Series. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch that time from Fisher. He had Silverio fooled, and that'll even the count.
That's something he's so successful with, Michael, that little fadeaway changeup to right-handed batters. It's almost like a screwball in that the action is away from the hitter, but he had Silverio fooled big time as Juan was out early.
Got that good changeup, the big looping breaking ball, and of course can zip in that fastball as well. 2-2 pitch to Silverio is inside, missed with the fastball. So that will run the count full to 3-2 here, and that means Norris will get the head start at first base on this next pitch. Norris will take his lead, has stolen 1 base thus far in the postseason. Fans banging the Thunder sticks together with 2 strikes. Fisher gets the sign and the 3-2. Curveball hit on the ground to the left side of the infield. Cody Puckett gobbles it up, throws across the diamond, and not corralled by Washington. Advancing on a third base will go Norris. And the 2-out defensive miscue keeps the inning alive.
Yeah, Cody just got it a little bit short and up the line toward home plate. David Washington tried to scoop it out of the dirt, couldn't come up with it. And so the Ducks hope this doesn't turn into a big break for Sugarland, but the inning is not over. Instead, it's runners at the corners and 2 away, and now some concern for Juan Silverio, who was trying to leg it out to keep the inning alive as he'll get a meeting with his trainer.
Max Mahaffey will come out just to check on Silverio to make sure he's okay. Again, that throw seemed a bit offline. Took a while to get to Cody Puckett, and Silverio can run, but it was kind of a slow 2-hopper that he ended up feeling and just threw a bit off target to first base. Washington kind of going into the runner as he tried to field it and keep his foot on the bag. So now the Skeeters, again with 2 outs, the Ducks giving up back-to-back base runners, a walk to Norris, an error by Puckett allows Silverio to reach. It's Puckett's second error of the postseason. And here is the dangerous first baseman, Matt Chavez, batting in the number 5 spot.
And his last error, too, Michael, cost the Ducks a run here on Friday night in Game 3.
First pitch from Fisher to Chavez, and that fastball misses the outside corner for ball 1. Skeeters showing some good patience. Fisher had retired the first 2 batters of the inning on 6 pitches total. He's now up to 17 here in the inning. Norris takes his lead at third, and Silverio does the same at first. Fisher gets the sign from Navarro, and the 1-0. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Navarro for strike 1.
I just think it's so important, Michael, for the Ducks to prevent Sugarland from jumping on top. The Skeeters have had 0 momentum since Friday night in the 8th inning when David Washington's 2-run homer turned the game around. It's been all Long Island since, as the Ducks scored 6 in the first 3 innings last night and coasted. So Sugarland has had 0 momentum since that Washington turning point.
Here comes the 1-1. Fisher looking over to first, deals to the plate. Chavez swings a chopper to the left side again. It's going to be Dan Lyons this time who fields his throw to first a little bit high, but Washington keeps his foot on the bag and makes the catch. And Puckett and Fisher are able to escape trouble in the first inning. No runs for the Skeeters, no hits either. There was an error. Sugarland leaves 2. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. Skeeters nothing, and the Ducks coming to bat.
Hey fans, this is pitcher John Brownell, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
Sayville Ford, Long Island's Ford giant, has been family-owned and operated for over 60 years. Stop by today to check out their giant selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at their state-of-the-art showroom featuring enclosed service drives and a luxurious customer lounge. Get giant savings on hundreds of new and used vehicles in stock. Save 04, the no-fees dealer. Visit online at save04.com or download the Save 04 app today to learn more. Call 855-917-8737 today. Bethpage Ballpark is a great place to watch a ball game, so why not do so from some of the best seats in the house? Long Island's hometown team invites you to check out the Long Island Ducks Beer Garden. Open for all fans on nights when the Smokin' Owl's party deck hasn't been reserved, the Beer Garden features a variety of the best brews, including popular fan favorites as well as local craft beer selections. The area has been decked out with bar rail seating and Ducks-branded furniture to provide a comfortable atmosphere for everyone. Be sure to stop by and enjoy the Long Island Ducks Beer Garden on your next visit to the ballpark.
Well, fans, every walk by a Ducks batter this season is presented all year long by City MD Urgent Care. Now, there are 29 City MD locations across Long Island offering the comprehensive quality care you need the moment you need it. City MD Urgent Care, need a doctor, just walk in.
So Jake Fisher is able to work through some two-out troubles in the top of the first inning, working around a walk and an error to keep the Skeeters off the scoreboard, getting Matt Chavez to ground out to short. Dan Lyons making all three putouts in that first inning. The throws over to first base, and now Jordani Valdespin will lead off the bottom half of the first inning against big left-hander James Russell of the Skeeters. So Valdespin, who has been the best Duck in terms of batting average this postseason here, especially when you combine between the first round and the Atlantic League Championship Series of the players still on this Ducks roster. First pitch on the way, Valdespin squares, pulls back, and takes the fastball up and outside for ball number one. Comes in 15 of 37 thus far in the playoffs as Valdespin, 6 RBIs and 9 runs. Leads the league in hits and runs thus far in the postseason after leading the league in both categories during the regular season. 1-0, squares again, pulls back. This time he takes a fastball strike at the knees, 1-1.
Valdespin and Ramon Cabrera, the only two Ducks that have hits in all 4 games of this championship series. Again, the first 2 down in Texas, won by the Skeeters. The last 2 here, the last 2 nights, won by Long Island.
Russell working out of the windup. Here is his 1-1. Valdespin takes, that misses downstairs for ball 2. As we talked about in game 1, Ducks got off to a terrific start against Russell. Valdespin and Fields both singled, Ford homered to the picnic plaza and left. And the Ducks had an early 3-0 lead against the left-hander, who eventually allowed 9 hits over 6 innings, but only those 3 runs. 2-1. Swinging a foul tip on a fastball into the glove of Derek Norris for strike 2.
Yeah, I'm sure, Michael, James Russell is looking at it as, look, I made one bad pitch, and Lou Ford crushed it out of the park down in Texas, but that's it. As you said, he kept the Ducks off the board the rest of his outing, and he's got to be confident, just like Jake Fisher is, because of what he's done against Sugar Land this year, too.
Both sides certainly have the man they want on the mound for this decisive Game 5. 2-2. Half swing at a fastball upstairs. Norris wants an appeal. They do ask Fred DeJesus. He said no swing. Certainly that seemed to be the case from our vantage point, and the count full on Valdespin.
What a difference in experience between these two pitchers. Jake Fisher played only rookie ball in the Dodgers organization. James Russell pitched almost 400 games in the big leagues with the Cubs, the Braves, and the Phillies.
Certainly quite the difference as Valdespin awaits the payoff pitch. Here it is, and he swings and lifts it in the air foul down the third baseline out of play. So we'll do it once again at 3-2. Again, all that stuff that happens before, all the previous experience, all 126 regular season games, all 5 games for both sides in the first round, and all 4 here, all get wiped out. It's one game. Everybody's just focused on what's happening here today. Here comes the 3-2 again from Russell. Valdespin pops this one up in the air to third base. Albert Cordero right near the bag, now drifting to his left, and he makes the catch off to his left side for the first out.
Jordani was upset with himself, Michael, but he's got to get his head in the game. He stood at home plate watching that pop-up, spinning around a bit, twirling his bat. He might have had a problem reaching first had it dropped in. I think Cordero would have had a chance to throw him out. So I know he's upset with himself, but he's got to remember, as you said, this is the moment. This is Game 5. This is what you live for, and if that ball drops in, he's got to make sure he's at first base.
This is the game, and this is the moment of the year where everybody's got to be locked in 100% every single at-bat, every single play. Breaking ball here, taken for a strike by Daniel Fields, the count 0-1. Of course, Kevin Baez did talk about Obviously, even though this is a high-pressure situation, it's about having fun. It's an opportunity many teams and most players don't get a chance to get to. The 0-1 is hit on the ground, foul down the first baseline for strike 2. So he wants his players to enjoy this moment, enjoy this game. Obviously, for the fans, too, this is a moment to enjoy. Easier said than done for most, I'm sure, but certainly an exciting time to be watching this game here today.
And again, the Ducks have taken 2 other Championship Series games to Game 5 and won them both. Of course, here in 2012 against Lancaster, and their last title in 2013 in Somerset County, New Jersey.
0-2 is a check swing foul ball to the third base side. All time, the Ducks have played in 7 Game 5s in postseason history. They're 5-2 and have a 3-1 record here on their home field.
Yeah, they lost their first ever Game 5 at home back in the 09 Liberty Division Championship Series against Southern Maryland, but they've won the last 3 on home turf.
0-2, a swing and a miss for strike 3 down in the dirt. The tag applied by Derek Norris. So Daniel Field strikes out as he went chasing after the pitch downstairs, and Russell's retired the first 2 in the first inning.
Hitting in the third position for your Long Island Ducks, the left fielder, number 20, Lou Ford. Number 20.
So here is Lou Ford to the plate. Another Game 5 for Lou Ford. Ducks veteran outfielder is getting the start in left field today. First pitch, and he takes the fastball outside for ball 1. Again, a rematch from the first inning in Game 1 when Ford took Russell deep for a 3-run home run. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Ford takes a fastball. That catches the outside corner for a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, that was down in Texas, Michael. Game 1 on Tuesday night. You were there. I was at my desk in my office, and you had me leaping out of my chair on that 3-run homer by Lou.
1-1. Ripped on the ground to third. It gets past Cordero and down the third base line. Ford will turn first. He's going to dig for second. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time. So Lou Ford is in there safely with a 2-out double. And the Long Island Ducks get their first runner in a scoring position tonight.
Well, we've talked about him all year, Michael. In August, he turned 42 years young. He led the Atlantic League in doubles in the regular season with 33, and that's his second double of this series.
Ball was smashed on the ground. Cordero went to field it on the backhand. I just don't think he had enough time to really make that play. It was hit so hard. So Lou Ford, who led the Atlantic League in doubles this year with 33, picks up another, his third double of the postseason. And now a runner at second base with 2 down for the switch-hitting designated hitter, Ramon Cabrera. Russell looks to second, the first pitch. Cabrera takes the fastball inside, and the count at 1-0.
Well, Cabrera has had a great championship series, Michael. He's 7 for 18. We mentioned he and Jordani Valdez being the only 2 Ducks with hits in every game, and he's got an opportunity here to give Long Island a lead in the last of the first.
Overall, 12 for 33 here in the postseason for Cabrera. 1-0. High fly ball in the air to center. Backing up on it goes Ginsanti. Has a beat on it. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side here in the bottom of the first. So the Ducks get a 2-out double by Lou Ford, but nothing further. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. After 1 here in Game 5, no score between the Ducks and the Skeeters.
Hey fans, this is shortstop Dan Lyons, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
We asked people across Long Island, what does energy efficiency mean to you?
Energy efficiency? It means finding ways to save a few dollars on my electric bill each month.
PSEG Long Island is introducing smart technologies that let you control just how much energy you use.
To me, it really is important to keep Long Island green so future generations can enjoy our island's beauty.
And we're partnering on renewable sources that will keep Long Island sustainable for generations. Discover all of our energy efficiency programs at psegLiny.com/efficiency.
Take your group out to the ball game this season and enjoy all the fun of Ducks baseball at discounted prices with the picnic area, luxury suites, the Smokin' Owls party deck, and so much more. Bringing your group to the game will be an unforgettable experience. The Ducks even offer opportunities to sing the national anthem, serve as the Ridgewood Savings Bank color guard, be the Nicolak Dream Team, put on a pregame performance, or shag fly balls during Ducks batting practice. To book your outing today, call 631-940-3825 and ask for the group sales department. Long Island Ducks Baseball. Good times every time.
Well, the Ducks Health Report is brought to you by Island Shore Physical Therapy, the official therapist of the Long Island Ducks. 3 pitchers still out: Tyler Badamo, John Brownell, and Colton Murray, all with arm issues. Of course, Brownell still available in his other capacity as pitching coach. And Kevin Baez telling me today, Michael, that Francisco Rodriguez, K-Rod, still out with general soreness, so the closer is not available. He would use Fernando Abad in a closing role, as he has in each of the last 2 games at home here, if the Ducks can get there with the lead.
And Abad did close out both of those victories. The 3-2 win here on Friday night, the 6-3 win here yesterday. Obviously tough for Francisco Rodriguez, who's a competitor, had a great season all year long. Would love to be able to pitch in this spot, but unfortunately, if you're dealing with injuries and you can't pitch, it's just part of the game, part of how it is. And the Ducks certainly have had to overcome a ton of adversity this year with all the injuries that they have suffered, with players having to leave for personal reasons and all of the like. To get to this stage of the season is certainly an incredible accomplishment, but for the Ducks, they certainly want to go home victorious here in Game 5. It'll make it all certainly that much more meaningful. Here is Albert Cordero, the third baseman. First pitch breaking ball from Jake Fisher, catches the inside corner for strike 1. Cordero batting in the number 6 spot tonight for the Sugarland Skeeters, who had a pair of base runners in the first inning, but nothing further. As they drew a walk, had a runner reach on an error, but nothing coming across. Here, Cordero pops it foul down the right field line, and the count 0-2.
Cordero, the only Skeeter to homer off Jake Fisher this year. He did that September 13th down in Sugarland. We talked about Jake's domination of this Sugarland offense all year long, but again, the Cordero, the only man to take him out of the yard.
Even the most dominant pitchers will occasionally give up runs. Fisher ahead here on Cordero, 0-2. Left-hander winds and fires to the plate, and just misses the inside corner for ball 1. Cordero is also the 10th batter of tonight's game. Did you know you could join Planet Fitness for as low as $10 a month? Visit planetfitness.com today to find your nearest club and to learn more. Puckett plays right along the line at third. Washington a bit further off the first base line. And the 1-2. On the ground to first, backing up Washington, knocks it down, recovers, flips to Fisher covering, and it's in time for the out. 1 away here in the second inning.
A nice job of recovering by David Washington. I think, Michael, if he had fielded it cleanly, he would have taken it to the bag himself. But once he dropped it, Jake Fisher doing what you do in day 1 of PFP, pitcher's fielding practice. Make sure you cover first just in case that happens. And Jake was right there to beat his man Cordero to the sack.
And it's obviously tougher, too, for a lefty pitcher because he'll naturally fall off to the third base side of the mound to have to go all the way over to first. But Fisher alertly getting over there. 1 away, here's Tony Thomas. And the first pitch fastball misses inside to him for ball 1. Thomas, the right fielder, joined Sugarland late in the year for the final week of the season, went 4 for 22 with a homer and 3 RBIs. He's 11 for 38 thus far this postseason. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Fisher blew the fastball by him upstairs, 1-1.
Such a dangerous hitter as Tony Thomas. Had 2 home runs in game 2. Had homer and 2 doubles, excuse me. 2 home runs it was for Thomas in that game, or?
In game 2 of this series, I think it was Barrett Barnes. He had the 2 home run
Yes, that's
game.
right. Yep.
Here he pops one foul down the right field line. But Thomas with 2 home runs in this postseason, 11 runs batted in. Really has been a force, a huge late season acquisition for the Skeeters from the Wichita Wingnuts of the American Association.
And of course he had the walk-off grand slam to win the opening round series against Lancaster.
Fisher's 1-2. Fastball on the inside corner, strike 3 call. First strikeout of the night for Jake Fisher as he catches Thomas looking. Second out here in the second inning.
Yeah, Skeeters had those 3 home runs in game 2. It was Barrett Barnes with a pair, Tony Thomas with 1 in the 10-0 whitewash of Long Island.
We talked about it before, how eerily similar it was to 2016's Liberty Division Championship Series. Extra inning loss in game 1, 10-0 loss in game 2 before the series shifted to Long Island. That year, the Ducks won 3 straight against Somerset, and Long Island this time trying to win 3 straight against Sugarland. Fisher misses here down and in for ball 1 at Dennis Phipps, the 8-hitter and designated hitter, who this year hit .265 with 9 homers and 37 runs batted in for Sugarland. Again, Puckett close to the line at third with the righty pull hitter at the plate. From the windup, the 1-0. And this one misses up and away for ball 2.
Yeah, prior to that Ducks comeback, Michael, only one team in Atlantic League history come back from an 0-2 hole to win a best-of-5, and the Patriots did it in the championship series of 2001 against the Newark Bears.
2-0 delivery. Good off-speed pitch on the outside corner for strike 1.
So Ducks trying to be the third time around, if you will, in Atlantic League history. Third instance of a team coming back from an 0-2 hole. Somerset first, the Ducks in 16, and Long Island hoping today.
Another pitch up and away from Fisher. He has fallen behind now 3-1 on Phipps. Again, in the first inning, Fisher retired the first two with ease before walking the three-hitter Derek Norris. And now it'll be a 3-1 to Phipps. Here comes the kick and the pitch, and this one is skied in the air, foul down the right field line, out of play. Up onto the concourse, and the count full at 3-2.
Well, Michael told you the Ducks 5-2 all-time in Game 5. The Sugarland Skeeters a perfect 2-0. They beat the York Revolution in the fifth and deciding game of the 2014 Freedom Division Championship Series, and we mentioned beat Lancaster this year.
3-2, fouled off again, this time back behind the plate. Comes back down below, too, after initially going upstairs. And so we'll do it once again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Both of these teams certainly have had their success. The Ducks, with their win last night, improving to 3-0 in elimination games here in this postseason. 3-2. Lifted in the air to right towards the line. Long run back into the corner from Miles Williams. He looks up at the wall, and you can forget it. An opposite field, 2 out, 2 strikes, solo home run for Dennis Phipps over the right field fence. His first home run of this postseason, and Sugarland takes a 1-0 lead.
Michael, that was just stunning. That ball just kept carrying and carrying off the end of his bat. Question was really only fair or foul when we realized it was going to leave the park, and he just snuck it inside the pole where the Ducks bullpen deck is. And the Sugarland Skeeters, who jumped on top 1-0 last night in the first, do the same here tonight in the second.
It feels somewhat like a broken record, as I feel like I've talked about it a lot during the course of this year, but the Ducks pitching staff just has to be better with 2 outs in an inning. First pitch is a strike. There's no magic word that you can say, but obviously in 2 innings tonight, 2 outs quickly, a walk, an error, Fisher able to get out of trouble. Now 2 outs quickly, got ahead in the count, and now a home run. So the Skeeters strike first for the 3rd straight day here on Long Island, and now Betancourt lines a base hit into left field. So the 8 and 9 hitters doing damage here with 2 outs in the second inning. The home run by Phipps and now a single by Betancourt. Back to the top of the order for Barrett Barnes.
Yeah, Phipps now the only player in this series with hits in all 5 games. He also has a pair of doubles in the championship set, but that time showed us his power the opposite way to put the visitors in front.
So Sugarland on the scoreboard here as Fisher trying to navigate his way through this second inning without further damage. He's up to 36 pitches on the night. Left-hander comes set, throws over to first, and back safely there is Betancourt, who is making his first start of this series. He, of course, had the game-winning RBI in Game 1 with his sacrifice fly to center field in the 13th inning. First pitch here to Barnes, and Fisher deals a breaking ball strike over the inside corner. Chris, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like the Skeeters being very patient here with Jake Fisher early. A lot of long counts outside of that second pitch single by Betancourt. Every other count has gone, I think, at least 3 or 4 pitches.
Yeah, completely opposite of their normal operations, Michael. They like to swing early in counts and be extremely aggressive. So perhaps Pete Incaviglia, again, their rookie skipper trying to win a championship in his first year down in Texas, has said, guys, we need to sit back a little bit and not make it easy for Jake Fisher. Let's try to work him, and they've done just that.
0-1 to Barnes. Breaking balls down to the dirt. Good block by Navarro. Evens the count at 1-1. Barnes grounded out to shortstop in his first at-bat of the night. So the Phipps home run has put the Skeeters on top. They have Betancourt at first, who this year was 3 for 3 in the stolen base department during the regular season. From the stretch, the 1-1. Barnes, a ground ball to the right side and through, a base hit. Betancourt's going to round second. He'll make his way to third. Williams fires it back in and make it 3 straight 2-out hits for the Skeeters.
Unbelievable after Jake got the quick ground out and strikeout. That homer by Phipps shocking everyone, and now singles by Betancourt and Barnes, and suddenly Sugarland in business. They know they would love to stretch out Jake Fisher because Kevin Baez has a plan of trying to get 7 innings out of his starter, and then say with that same closing combo of Pimentel and Abad that he has the last 2 nights. So perhaps that factored into what rookie skipper Incaviglia told his squad today.
So Fisher trying to find his way through this inning without more trouble, but the Skeeters not making it easy. Here is Ginsanti from the right side. First pitch from Fisher, and he misses the outside corner with a fastball for ball 1.
So Barnes with that hit joins Phipps now, Michael, as the only 2 Skeeters with hits in every game of this championship series.
Has had an incredible series for sure after a very difficult first round of the postseason for Barnes. 1-0. And there's a strike. Fastball over the outside corner to even the count at 1-1.
Yeah, Barnes just 1 for 14 in the 5 games against Lancaster. And now you're talking about hits in every game against Long Island.
Much like Russell in game 1 for Sugar Land, Fisher has to try and find a way to get out of these jams with minimal damage done. 1-1, breaking ball off the end of the bat, foul to the first base side. Fisher gets the strike 2, 1-2 now on the speedy Ginsanti.
Yeah, how about Barnes, Michael? 1 for 14 against Lancaster, 8 for 14 against the Ducks. Talk about turning around your playoffs. In the middle of it, he's done a tremendous job.
Certainly a good hitter. Definitely was among the best at getting on base in the league this year. 1-2, inside, almost hit Ginsanti. Came in, nearly caught him on the jersey. That would have loaded the bases for Derek Norris. Instead, now the count at 2-2. Barnes led the league in walks this year, had an on-base percentage just under 400. And he's the runner at first, while Betancourt leads from third with 2 down. 2-2. Breaking ball popped up in the air, third base side. Cody Puckett backing up onto the outfield grass in fair territory. He'll make the catch. And Fisher able to avoid any further trouble here in the second inning. But the Skeeters do take the first lead of this game. 1 run on 3 hits, including the 2-out, 2-strike solo homer from Dennis Phipps. Sugar Land leaves 2 on for the second inning in a row. We go to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Skeeters.
Hey fans, this is pitcher Jake Fisher, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network. Go Ducks.
Hey Ducks fans, the official hotel of the Long Island Ducks is the Radisson Hotel Hauppauge, Long Island. It's centrally located on the north shore of Long Island and offers a home away from home for both business and leisure guests. The Radisson Hotel Hauppauge, Long Island features an indoor pool, 24-hour business center, a fitness center, and complimentary Wi-Fi in all guest rooms. Enjoy the contemporary American cuisine at the Fountain Grill restaurant or grab a quick bite to eat at Cafe Pronto. And best of all, it's only minutes away from Bethpage Ballpark. The Radisson Hotel Hauppauge, Long Island, the official hotel of the Long Island Ducks. Call 631-231-1100 today. That's 631-231-1100.
Baseball fans, the Long Island Ducks mobile app has officially arrived. Powered by Clear Vision Apps, it's your one-stop shop for all things Ducks baseball. Buy tickets straight from your mobile device. Receive game status updates with push notifications. Check out up-to-the-minute news and scores and interact with the Ducks on social media. Best of all, it's free. Download the Ducks mobile app today by visiting the App Store on your Apple-powered device or Google Play on your Android-powered device. The Long Island Ducks mobile app, with you wherever you flock to.
Well, Duck fans, we want to thank you for following along all season long as the Long Island Ducks tried to meet the Chappie's Home Run Challenge. They needed 100 home runs for our friends at Chappie's Funeral Homes to donate $5,000 to the Quackerjack Foundation. Chappie's Funeral Homes, where caring for others is our family tradition. The Ducks led the league with 120 home runs in the regular season, and they've added 8 more so far in the playoffs.
So the Ducks will try and bounce back here after the opposite field solo home run by Dennis Phipps puts the Skeeters on the scoreboard first here in Game 5. David Washington, who led the Ducks in home runs this year, will lead things off for Long Island in the second. Lefty to lefty here, first pitch, and Washington hits a high fly ball deep to center. Backing up Ginsanti, and straightaway center down to left center, he'll make the catch. Washington gave it a ride, but to the deepest part of the park, and that's out number 1.
Just to the left of the 400-foot mark in the batter's eye. You can see it there in dead center field. And Ginsanti was about 3 feet from the wall, Michael. So I'm saying that went 397 off the bat of David Washington. That close to a tie game.
David Washington, 24 home runs during the regular season, 4 here in the postseason, and was ready for that first pitch from Russell. Just hit it to the wrong part of the park, 1 away, and that'll bring up the catcher and 6-hitter, Deonor Navarro. So righty batter against the lefty pitcher. Navarro had the night off last night, back in there tonight behind the plate for Fisher. First pitch, and that's taken outside for ball 1. Navarro thus far in the postseason for the Ducks has 3 hits and 12 at-bats. He's also drawn a pair of walks. Cordero plays right along the line at third. The 1-0 is a fastball that just nipped the outside corner for a strike to even the count at 1-1. During the regular season, Navarro joined the team late in the year, hit .268 for the Ducks with 3 homers and 13 runs batted in. Matchup of former big leaguers here as the 1-1 is swung on and fouled straight back to the screen behind home plate. That will move the count to 1-2.
James Russell, the 32-year-old lefty born in Cincinnati, now calls Texas his home in Colleyville down there. And we mentioned Michael is nearly 400 games, most of those with the Cubs from 2010 through 2015, then brief stints with both the Braves and the Phillies.
1-2, golfed in the air to center field. Jansanti started in, now drifts back a step or two. He'll make the catch. So back-to-back flyouts to center induced by Russell, and they were quickly 2 away.
He ended the first with a flyout to center as well off the bat of Ramon Cabrera, so Jansanti in center has been very busy. The last 3 outs have all landed in his glove.
Not necessarily the easiest thing to try and determine where you hit the baseball, but if you want to hit it to anybody, don't hit it to Jansanti.
Yes. Yeah.
He has played amazing defense in this series for the Sugarland Skeeters, covers a ton of ground out there. Here's Miles Williams with 2 down to the bases empty. First pitch swinging. He hits it deep in the air down the left field line. Going back into the corner goes Barrett Barnes. Looks up and watches this go foul. And that is strike number 1.
Oh boy, Michael, was he on top of that, but just a little too anxious. He absolutely mashed it out of the park down there, but the bat hit around too early and clearly foul.
So 0-1 is the count. Williams from the right side swings again and cuts through a high fastball for strike 2. Strikeouts have been the one issue for Williams in this postseason. 12 strikeouts. Overall, he is 8 for 33 in these playoffs with 2 runs scored and a double. But in there today, especially with the lefty pitching, the 0-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Swings through the breaking ball down and in. Second strikeout of the night for Russell, and the Ducks go in order in the bottom of the second. We played 2 here in Game 5 of the Atlantic League Championship Series. Skeeters lead it 1-0 over the Ducks.
Hey fans, this is Bud Harrelson, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
Going way back is Joe Holden, and he is looking up, and that one is headed to field 5 at Robert Moses. The waves are gnarly, and the Ducks have tied it at 1. That was another home run for the Ducks. And Duck fans, what's more fun than a home run that helps the Ducks win a game? How about a homer that helps the community win? Chappie's Funeral Home and the Long Island Ducks have once again teamed up for the Chappie's Home Run Challenge. If the Ducks hit 100 homers this season, Chappie's Funeral Home will donate $5,000 to the Quackerjack Foundation. So every time a Ducks hitter goes deep this season, watch for the Chappie's Challenge home run count on the scoreboard. And if we reach 100, we're all a winner. Chappie's Funeral Home, where caring for others is a family tradition.
Can't get enough of the Long Island Ducks? Well, now you can get even more inside info on your favorite hometown team through Facebook and Twitter. The Ducks are constantly updating fans through social media with scores, transactions, ballpark promotions, and much more. You can even win great prizes. All you'll need to do is make a free account on Facebook and Twitter, and then visit us at facebook.com/LIDucks and twitter.com/LIDucks. Think you're Long Island's biggest Ducks fan? Get connected now.
Well, time now to check in on the out-of-town scoreboard. Final game for the Amazons today in Flushing, Queens. The Mets beat the Marlins 1-0 after all the drama of David Wright's final game last night. That was tremendous. And the Yankees right now wrapping up their season at Fenway in Boston. They trail the Red Sox 10-2 in the top of the 7th inning. NFL action today. The Jets fell earlier today in Jacksonville, 31-12, the final there. And right now the Giants at home battling the Saints. It's New Orleans with a 12-7 lead in the second quarter.
And the Yankees surely gearing up for their wild card game on Wednesday night at Yankee Stadium against the Oakland Athletics. What a scene it was at Citi Field last night as David Wright plays in his final game. Incredible moment when he got taken out of the game, got the standing ovation from the crowd at Citi Field, and then his speech following the game to the fans. Just a great, great moment. Jake Fisher misses up and away with a breaking ball to Derek Norris for ball 1 as we begin the third inning here in Game 5. Sugarland with a 1-0 lead on the Dennis Phipps home run in the second inning. 1-0. It's fouled straight back to the screen, off the top of the screen, and up into the club seats. That'll leave the count at 1-1.
The only tough part, I think, last night, Michael, for Met fans, were especially the young ones, that game went 13 innings, and as you said, David didn't address the crowd until the game ended. So I know when the 11 o'clock news was on, that game is still going on.
1-1 here, cut on and miss for strike 2. I do know that. My better half was at that game, and she kept going. Of course, on this night, they're going to take forever just for him to be able to have his moment to address these fans. But fortunately for him and for the Mets, they did get the win. And David, I think, started that speech saying, thank God we won that one, something like that.
Yep.
Here's Fisher's 1-2 to Norris. Fastball runs off the outside corner to even the count. Norris drew a 2-out walk in the first inning, eventually made it to third, but was stranded there when Matt Chavez grounded out to short. Fisher gets the sign from Navarro and is 2-2. Breaking ball, that misses downstairs. And Sugarland's patience continuing to show here as Norris works the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And even Yankee fans love what David Wright meant to the Mets. I think that's the ultimate tribute to the Mets captain.
So it'll be a payoff pitch on the way. Here's Fisher's delivery, and Norris fouls one back again. I think a lot of Yankee fans, a lot of baseball fans just respect David Wright as a person. You really never heard a bad word said about him. It was just unfortunate. Very similar feel to a Don Mattingly type, where a great player that certainly had Hall of Fame potential and was cut short due to injuries.
And how fitting that Mattingly was there last night as skipper of the Marlins.
Very, very true. Payoff pitch on the way. Norris takes a curveball. That one catches the outside corner. Strike 3 called. Norris thought it was ball 4, was getting ready to take off his shin guard, but home plate umpire Tim Rosso rings him up. Second strikeout of the night for Fisher.
And then both been looking. You got Tony Thomas, same way last inning.
So Fisher gets out number 1. He's retired the leadoff hitter in each of the first 3 innings of this ball game. And that will bring up the shortstop, Juan Silverio, to the plate.
And Jake's retired the first 2 men in each of the first 2 innings, only to struggle a bit afterwards. So he's looking for that clean inning and off to a good start here.
First pitch here, it's a breaking ball taken outside for ball 1. It's been kind of the opposite to what's happened in the regular season. Fisher, during the regular season, opponents at 281 against him leading off an inning, but with runners in scoring position and 2 out, just 220. So it's been a little bit of a different case here today. Weak ground ball to third base. That will roll and will stay fair. Cody Puckett will not have a play, and it'll be an infield single for Juan Silverio.
Well, Cody did the right thing, Michael. He had no chance to make the play. He knew it, so he gave it all the opportunity in the world to roll foul, and then finally had to barehand it and just say, you know what, Juan, you beat me on that one. So Silverio, the 1-out runner at first.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. Sometimes it's not about how hard you hit it, it's about where. We saw that last night, arguably the biggest hit of the game, that bloop single to center by Cody Puckett that drove home 2. Didn't hit it all that hard, but he found the open piece of real estate in shallow center, and it paid off in 2 big RBIs that made it a 6-1 ball game en route to a 6-3 win. So 1 on, 1 out. Here is Matt Chavez from the right side. Fisher's first pitch. Chavez takes down and away for ball number 1. Chavez grounded out to short, stranding a pair of runners on base back in inning number 1. So it's now 11 for 37 here in the playoffs, but what a first season in the Atlantic League it has been for this all-star first baseman from the Skeeters. Fisher looks to first, deals to the plate. The 1-0 is hit on the ground hard but foul down the third base line, evening the count at 1-1.
Chavez hit .320 in the regular season, 7th best average in the Atlantic League. Led Sugarland with 72 runs batted in. That was tied for 4th most in the league, and also had a dozen homers, including 2 against the Ducks.
He really just does a little bit of everything very well. The one thing he doesn't do well is run. He doesn't have a ton of speed, but plays great defense, hits for power, hits for average, drives in runs. Great player here for the Skeeters. 1-1, and he takes downstairs this time from Fisher. Again, does not chase. Sugarland really showing a lot of patience here in the early part of this game. Very different than what we saw back in game 1, although they did draw 4 walks against Fisher. But he barely threw over 100 pitches in 6 2/3 innings. Skeeters have already worked him up over 50 pitches tonight. So a 2-ball, 1-strike count here with Silverio at first and 1 out. Fisher comes set at the belt, kicks, throws over to first, and back to the bag is Silverio.
Silverio in the regular season, 3 steals, but caught stealing 3 times. And in the postseason, 2 successful steals, hasn't been caught yet.
Skeeters tried a double steal in the first inning of yesterday's game, and the Ducks got Barrett Barnes out at third base on a great throw by Ramon Cabrera. 2-1 from Fisher. Chavez pops it in the air, foul off to the first base side, out of play. That'll even up the count at 2-2 on Chavez. Waiting on deck, switch hitting third baseman Albert Cordero.
Of course, Sugarland in the regular season, stormed the league. They won the first half Freedom Division title. They won the second half Freedom Division title, and they finished with the best overall record in the Atlantic League at 81-45.
Of course, we've seen a lot of scenarios where the team that dominated the regular season doesn't necessarily win. Skeeters trying to make sure that does not happen here this year. Ripped to the left side and through, a base hit by Matt Chavez. The fifth hit already for the Skeeters off of Jake Fisher. A clean single in between third and short. And back-to-back one-out hits allow the Skeeters to threaten again, 2 on, 1 away.
This is Sugarland already with 4 singles and a homer off Jake Fisher, where the Ducks have managed just 1 hit, a double by Lou Ford in the opening inning down the left field line.
So Sugarland trying to once again get on the scoreboard. They only have 1 run at this point, but they've been threatening in every inning. They left 2 men on base in each of the first 2 innings. And now it is Cordero who grounded out to first base his first time up. Fisher comes set on the mound, looks back to second. First pitch ripped into left field, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. Stopping at third will be Silverio. No, he's going to try and score, and he's going to make it. The throw did not hit the cutoff man. Silverio is in a score, an RBI single from Albert Cordero. It is 2-0 Skeeters.
Well, you called it, Michael. Corey Dommel, the coach at third, had the double stop sign up, but Juan Silverio ran right through it. And again, that ball got to Lou Ford so quickly in left field. If he hits the cutoff man, I think the Ducks have a chance, but you called it. He completely missed his cutoff man, and that allows Silverio to score and the Skeeters to double the lead.
Ford has definitely played some outfield here in the postseason. Ruby Silva has also been the primary guy out in left field for the Ducks. But with the lefty pitching, Silva gets the day off. First pitch here to Thomas, and that misses upstairs for ball 1. So 3 straight 1-out singles, and Jake Fisher laboring here in the third as the Skeeters have extended their lead to 2. Fisher in desperate need of a ground ball at one of his infielders here with Thomas at the plate. A strikeout victim looking back in the second inning. Now Fisher will step off the rubber and go through the signs again with Navarro.
And that's the reason I think Dommel gave Silverio the stop sign so quickly, because that ball was smoked to Lou Ford, and it was in his glove even before Silverio was at third base. And you can see Lou afterwards, Michael, his body English just upset with himself that he missed the cutoff man.
So the 1-0 delivery. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball foul to the third base side. And that will run the count to 1-1. On the throw in, Dan Lyons was closer towards third base, but not right on the bag. Cody Puckett was playing in as the cutoff man as well, a little bit closer to the plate. And that one just kind of was thrown into the ground in between Lyons and Puckett. So no chance to end up getting Silverio at the plate. 1-1. And that misses the inside corner for ball 2. 2-1 the count now on Thomas. And again, give the Skeeters team credit. The game plan clearly seems to be stay patient and not swing at pitches early in the count against Fisher. And it appears to be paying off thus far. Here's the 2-1. Swinging a little tapper foul to the first base side. Evens the count at 2-2. There have been some exceptions. Obviously, Cordero swung first pitch on that RBI single. Silverio, the little dribbler, was on the second pitch of the at-bat. But again, you just look, they're working the count very well against Fisher, who's already at 63 pitches here on the night.
Yeah, Jake had thrown 16 straight shutout innings at home against Sugarland before the Skeeters got a single run in the second, and so far a single run here in the third, so that run's come to an end.
Be a 2-2. Missed down and in. And that'll run the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And in the 5 games, Michael, that Jake Fisher has faced Sugarland this year, 4 in the regular season, 1 in the playoffs, they have not scored more than 2 runs on him in any one of those games. They scored 2 against him in the playoff game, but 1 or less in all 4 regular season outings.
Looking for at least the second out here with Chavez at second and Cordero at first. Here's the payoff. This is fouled back to the screen. Thomas fights off another tough pitch. And Fisher still looking for that third strike here. 2-0 Skeeters out hitting the Ducks 6-1 in this ball game. Sugarland took a 1-0 lead yesterday in the first. Quickly saw that evaporate in the bottom of the inning. They never were able to retake the lead. They went up 2-0 in the third inning of game 3. But then the Ducks came back and rallied late for the win. Big swing and a miss there for strike 3 by Thomas. Third strikeout for Fisher, his first swinging. And that's a big second out here in the third inning.
And again, pitch count so big when you want your starter to go length. Jake Fisher had 66 already, while James Russell has been extremely efficient through his 2 innings against Long Island.
So there's the second out, and now here is Phipps, who gave the Skeeters the lead 1 inning ago with 2 outs. An opposite field solo home run that just cleared the wall in right. Time is called here as Phipps asked to step out, and now we'll get reset in the batter's box. Chavez will lead from second, Cordero from first. First pitch, breaking ball, swung on and missed. Good pitch diving down in the zone for strike 1. The key for Fisher has always been that curveball. When he's got it working, he's got it throwing for strikes. He's usually been on top of his game. Haven't seen as many of those here during the course of the game, but a good pitch there that time for the first strike. Now the 0-1. Breaking ball again. This one popped foul to the first base side. And Fisher quickly jumps in front of Phipps at 0-2.
This is where it's so dangerous, though, for Jake Fisher, Michael, because, as you said, with that righty lineup, all righties 1 through 9 essentially is what he's seeing. He tries to work that outer edge on a backdoor curve or the fadeaway change, but Phipps showed him what he can do the other way if he tries to stay out there.
Let's see if he can get him to chase here at 0-2. Fisher kicks, fires. Breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 3. Tag will be applied by Navarro. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Jake Fisher, and ultimately gets out of the inning with little damage done again. 1 run for the Skeeters, 3 consecutive 1-out singles. They lead 2 on for the 3rd straight inning. We played 2.5. It is Sugarland 2, Long Island 0.
Hey fans, this is manager Kevin Baez, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
Oh, I love it. The color of my new Nicolot patio is so vibrant. It's unlike anything I've ever seen.
You're welcome. I'm just going to go finish that Nicolot walkway now.
Make your pavers vivid Nicolot pavers. The best looking, most vibrant pavers with the most 3-color blends in the industry. Featuring Nicolot's exclusive paver shield and color blending technology. With color throughout and guaranteed not to fade. Live life in color with Nicolot. Visit Nicolot.com.
Have your birthday at the ballpark this season and celebrate with the flock. Kona Ice birthday party packages with the Long Island Ducks are now available. Each package includes 10 box seats, a commemorative birthday t-shirt, and autographed baseball. Refreshments including hot dogs, chips, cupcakes, frozen ice treats, and so much more. Best of all, the birthday child will stand on the dugout while the entire crowd sings happy birthday. Reserve your party today by calling the group sales department at 631-940-3825. Kona Ice birthday parties with the Long Island Ducks, a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Well, hey, Duck fans, that strikeout by Jake Fisher of Dennis Phipps to end the top of the 3rd was the 15th out of today's ball game. Did you know that a 15-minute call to Geico could save you 15% or more on your car insurance? Get a free quote today. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. That's 1-800-947-AUTO or visit geico.com.
Well, Jake Fisher certainly has not had his A game over the first 3 innings, but he has limited the damage to just single runs in the 2nd and 3rd. Obviously important to find a way when you don't have your best pitches to still limit that damage. And now Cody Puckett to lead things off in the 3rd against lefty James Russell. He takes a first pitch fastball knee high for strike 1. Ducks have managed 1 base runner over the first 2 innings against Russell. That was the 2-out double by Lou Ford back in inning number 1. From the windup, here's the 0-1. Puckett takes, and that breaking ball misses inside to even the count.
How about this, Michael? Fisher at 69 pitches, Russell at 25. That's the difference right now between the 2 starters.
No question. He's been throwing strikes early and often in this game. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Puckett could not catch up to that fastball, and the count goes to 1-2. Just 7 pitches out of the strike zone thus far from Russell. Obviously, it was reverse roles in game 1. It was Fisher who was cruising early, and Russell who was having trouble but finding his way out of some major trouble. 1-2. Breaking ball misses low. Good eye by Puckett, who has had a very nice Atlantic League Championship Series thus far for the Ducks. Coming into today, 5 of 13 in the series, a homer, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored.
Amazing turnaround as he didn't play at all in the Liberty Division Championship Series as Taylor Ard was the starting 3rd baseman.
2-2. Lifted in the air to left field. Drifting in on it is Barrett Barnes, and he'll make the catch for the first out. Kevin Myers said before the series, when Taylor Orr departed the team for the birth of his child, that Cody Puckett was going to need to step up, and certainly has done so during the course of this series. Russell gets him first time through here in the third. And now up to the plate will step the shortstop and 9-hitter Dan Lyons. Russell this year was just so dominant for the Sugarland Skeeters, 8-4 record with a 2.36 ERA. He walked only 17 batters in 106 2/3 innings. First pitch here taken for a strike, and the count 0-1.
Yeah, that 2.36 ERA led the league, and boy, Michael, you're talking about a crazy ratio of walks to strikeouts there.
The 0-1. Now that misses outside 1-1. 98 strikeouts for the lefty Russell, who has a couple of relief appearances mixed in as well, but again, for the most part, was a starter this year for Sugarland, his first season with the Skeeters. 1-1, swing and a miss as he waves through the pitch down and away. And the left-hander now ahead of Lyons, 1-2.
He started the year in the Tigers organization. He was at Toledo. He was a mud hen in the International League and then made his Skeeter debut against Long Island on May 31st.
So it'll be a 1-ball, 2-strike delivery. Here's the kick and the pitch. And Lyons drives one in the air to right center field. Will this get down? No. Tony Thomas dives and makes a great catch. And right center to rob Dan Lyons to the base hit. 2 away on the great grab.
Now, those are the kind of catches you remember in big games, because if Lyons reaches, then suddenly Valdespin's the tying run at the plate with the Ducks down 2-0. But Tony Thomas just extending that body all out to make the grab. And now make it 6 in a row, retired by Russell since the Ford 2-out double in the opening inning.
Well, with the righty batting, Thomas was playing in tight and somewhat shaded towards right center. He still had a long way to go, but is able to make that grab. With 2 outs, here's Valdespin, shows bunt, pulls back, and takes a strike, 0-1. Valdespin a pop out to third his first time up. That was back in the opening inning. Quacker Jack getting the fans into a Let's Go Ducks chant from the top of the first base dugout. Russell looks in for the sign from Norris, and now the 0-1. Swinging a ground ball to second. Right there is Javier Betancourt, throws to first for the out. And James Russell has his second 1-2-3 inning in a row. He's retired 7 straight Ducks batters. 3 innings complete here in Game 5 of the Atlantic League Championship Series. Sugarland 2, Long Island 0.
Hey fans, this is outfielder and hitting coach Lou Ford, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
Hey Ducks fans, stay up to date with Long Island's hometown team by visiting Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks. Quack of the Bat will bring Ducks fans beyond the headlines with in-depth feature articles, breaking news stories, game previews, and so much more. Interact with the team during the entire season through quotes directly from the players and coaches, as well as exclusive video clips and photos. Check out the blog today at quackofthebat.wordpress.com. Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks.
This season, build new memories.
Beautiful evening for baseball.
This season, witness the action.
He reaches up, it's gone!
This season, celebrate an all-star summer.
The Ducks have won it 7-1.
Gather your friends and family for an entertainment experience like no other. The Ducks 2018 schedule is full of new promotions, and with free parking and tickets starting at just $12, there's no better value on Long Island. Get tickets to an all-star summer at liducks.com.
Fans, New York Sports Day is one of the largest independent New York sports news sources out there for coverage of the Long Island Ducks, the Mets and Yankees, major and minor league baseball, football, basketball, hockey, and soccer. Visit nysportsday.com. New York Sports Day, your independent Gotham sports news source. Michael Pollock alongside Chris King from Bethpage Ballpark in Central Islip, New York. Game 5, winner take all here in this Atlantic League Championship Series. Sugarland leading the Ducks 2-0, out hitting the Ducks 6-1 in the early going. And as we head to the fourth, I send the play-by-play duties to my right to Chris King.
Well, thank you very much, Michael Pollock. Again, Jake Fisher has labored through each and every inning. The Skeeters, in fact, have left 2 men aboard in the first, the second, and the third. So 6 men left on base already. We told you Jake up at 69 pitches through 3 innings, while Russell was in the 20s in his third frame. But the Ducks trail by 2 as we go to the fourth, and the 9-man Javier Betancourt to lead it off. And there is strike 1 from Jake, who has fanned 4 so far, including the last 2 batters he faced in the 3rd inning in Tony Thomas and Dennis Phipps. So Betancourt had his first hit of the playoffs his last time up, a single to left. Again, has mostly come into games as pinch hitter role late and gets his first start today as Inky goes with Betancourt, the righty, over Rondon, the lefty, in his 9-hole. Be a 1-1 coming from Fisher. And that breaking ball down low. It's 2-1 on the second baseman and 9-hitter, Javier Betancourt.
Well, you can bet, certainly if it comes to it late in the game, Alvaro Rondon, not a bad speed option off the bench and a pinch running role for the Skeeters. But Incaviglia, a guy who loves his matchups and goes with the righty today, obviously with the lefty Fisher on the mound.
The 2-1 coming is swung through very late on that one. It evens things up at 2-2.
Betancourt pinch hit for Rondon last night in the 9th inning, striking out to end the game with a bot on the mound. But as we talked about in game 1, was retired his first time up in a pinch hit role, but then came through with a sac fly that won the game in the bottom of the 13th.
So really making the most of limited time is Javier Betancourt, as here he looks at one down and in, and the count now full.
Again, the Skeeters just continuing to be patient here against Fisher, who has been missing with his pitches, not quite as accurate as we typically see from the lefty thus far.
They haven't had the leadoff man on yet, and now they will on ball 4 here out of the left hand of Jake Fisher. So his second base on balls, and for the first time today, Sugar Land does get the leadoff man on.
Well, I've talked with many Ducks pitchers during the course of this postseason, and one of the biggest things that they talk about is when this Ducks team, especially here at home, has been able to give them the early lead, they just tend to feel a little bit more comfortable on the mound, can attack a little bit more. And you get the sense here with Russell, now that he's got a 2-run lead, that he's been attacking the strike zone, just going straight after these Ducks hitters. When Fisher has seemed to do that with the Skeeters, they've picked up a few hard-hit baseballs, so Fisher may be a little bit leery to keep doing that.
There's Barrett Barnes at the top of the order, first pitch swinging, and popped up shallow center field. Valdespine grabs it as Lyons duck down underneath him. So a huge first out for Fisher here with a dangerous Barnes.
See a rare instance there where Barnes, a guy who loves to be patient and a guy who loves to work walks, swings at the first pitch and got him to pop up. So I think one of the keys for Fisher, especially early in the count, he's got to attack these hitters, try and force them to put the ball in the air, either on the infield or the outfield. Obviously, it's tough to determine that, but ultimately you want to try and not throw the ball necessarily right down the middle of the plate, but still attack the strike zone and try and get some swings here from the Skeeters.
The dangerous Anthony Jansanti in, Sugar Land's leading hitter in the playoffs, starting today at 342. And off the glove of Navarro to his left, he loses the mask and grabs it quickly. No advance from Betancourt, now a one-out runner at first base.
One thing Fisher did so well this year was avoid walks. Just 25 walks this year in 133 and a third innings. That was one of the key factors in his success this year, was avoiding those base on balls.
So he falls behind here 1-0 to Jansanti. Top of the 4th, Skeeters with a 2-0 lead. And a toss over to first. 2 years ago tonight, September 30th, 2016, Sugar Land won on this field, swept the Ducks in the championship series, and raised their first trophy in their 5th anniversary season. So they are hoping September 30th has the same magic for them here tonight. 1-0 is in the air, shallow right field. The right fielder, Miles Williams, camps underneath it to his right to make the grab for the second out.
Ducks doing a good job here, Fisher specifically against Jansanti thus far tonight. Third time he's had to face him in a span of 4 innings, but has kept him off the bases. Obviously, he has speed, so he's not a guy that you want to see get on the base paths, but ultimately I like what I saw there in each of the last 2 at-bats. Fisher forcing the Skeeters to pop the ball up into the air. It's okay if they hit the ball in the air. You just don't want them to square up the baseball well, and in both of those instances, neither Barnes nor Jansanti really able to get good swings on those pitches.
So Betancourt, the leadoff walk, he's still there with 2 away, and there's that beautiful backdoor curve from Jake, locking up Derek Norris there for strike 1. He got Derek looking his last time up, and he walked him back in the opening inning. So Jake trying to hang up a 0 here as the Skeeters trying to build that picket fence. Single runs in the 2nd and 3rd thus far. And now a toss over. And Mike, you talked about getting the lead and how much that can help pitchers. I know Dennis O'Grady after last night's game said when it was 6-1 after 3 innings, he just said, I just pounded the strike zone the rest of the night, pitching with such confidence in a 5-run lead. That's certainly the way James Russell has to feel right now, although the lead is only 2. Time called here at the plate, and everybody will reset.
In 2016, that Game 5 here when the Ducks ended up completing the comeback, Long Island got on the scoreboard right away in that first inning, and I know that helped their pitcher that night, John Brownell, really able to settle in and just kind of relax when he took the mound.
Here's the 0-1, and that fouled off the end of the bat into the Ducks dugout. I believe it found a little gap in the railing at the midpoint. Hopefully everybody's okay in there, with most of the Ducks out on the field just rattling around. And it's quickly an 0-2 hole for Derek Norris, the catcher in 3-man. Bettencourt held on at first by Big David Washington. And now Fisher trying to rack up his 5th K of the night. The 0-2 is that backdoor curve, but just missed away for ball 1.
I don't mind that pitch there. You're ahead 0-2. Keep it off the plate. Try and see if you can nip that corner for a strike. Not a bad pitch. But Norris not swinging, though. Now with a 1-2 count, I'm sure we'll see Fisher try and attack a little bit more.
He stares into Deanna Navarro and comes set right above the belt. And the lefty's 1-2 is another foul ball high back behind home plate. So good battle here. Derek Norris trying to keep the visitors' half of the 4th alive, with Sugar Land holding a 2-0 lead. We mentioned the Skeeters only title 2 years ago on this field. The Ducks' last championship 5 years ago last night, September 29th, 2013. Of course, what's known now as the Ray Navarrete game, his final game as a professional baseball player. He hit one of the biggest home runs in playoff history for the Ducks to win that one, as here Fisher misses away. Ducks trailed Somerset early in New Jersey 1-0. I believe it was Ramon Castro who had a single that tied it in the top of the 4th. And then Ray Navarrete hit a 3-run homer that gave the Ducks a 4-1 lead they would never relinquish. In his final game as a professional baseball player, Ray carried off the field on the shoulders of his teammates. 2-2 here is a call. 3rd strike. He got him looking on the inside corner. Making 5 Ks for Fisher. He pitches around the leadoff walk to Bettencourt and retires the side. No runs, no hits, a walk and 1 left. To the bottom of the 4th we go on Long Island. It's Game 5 of the Atlantic League Championship Series, and the Skeeters have a 2-0 lead.
Hey fans, this is pitcher Asher Tolliver, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
Sayville Ford, Long Island's Ford giant, has been family-owned and operated for over 60 years. Stop by today to check out their giant selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at their state-of-the-art showroom, featuring enclosed service drives and a luxurious customer lounge. Get giant savings on hundreds of new and used vehicles in stock. Sayville Ford, the no-fees dealer. Visit online at SayvilleFord.com or download the Sayville Ford app today to learn more. Call 855-917-8737 today. Bethpage Ballpark is a great place to watch a ball game, so why not do so from some of the best seats in the house? Long Island's hometown team invites you to check out the Long Island Ducks Beer Garden. Open for all fans on nights when the Smokin' Owl's party deck hasn't been reserved, the Beer Garden features a variety of the best brews, including popular fan favorites as well as local craft beer selections. The area has been decked out with bar rail seating and Ducks-branded furniture to provide a comfortable atmosphere for everyone. Be sure to stop by and enjoy the Long Island Ducks Beer Garden on your next visit to the ballpark.
Well, we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning, 2-0 in favor of the Skeeters. The Ducks have announced that their TD Bank Take a Duck to Class essay contest has resumed once again. So students in either elementary or middle school can currently sign up by visiting liducks.com/takeaduck. You can download the entry form. An essay of 250 words or less on who a hero is in your community and why is all that is required for entry. 4 lucky winners will be chosen to have Quacker Jack visit their school for an hour and enjoy a fun-filled day of memories that will last a lifetime. It's the TD Bank Take a Duck to Class essay contest. Sign up now at liducks.com.
I got to tell you, Michael, when I was that age, if Quacker Jack ever walked into my classroom, that would be the coolest thing ever. I mean, flat out ever. It's Daniel Fields leading off the bottom of the 4th. Ducks down 2-0. And lefty James Russell, who's been locked in and has retired 7 in a row, gets a swinging strike on Fields, who he struck out swinging back in the opening inning.
It has been a very cool experience every time I've gotten the opportunity to go and visit those schools with Quacker Jack. The kids love him. The teachers love him.
This one popped up down the left field line in foul territory. The third baseman Cordero over on the warning track. And then the shortstop Silverio trying to get there. But a break for Fields as neither could catch it. It's simply strike 2.
couple of the Skeeters came out of the dugout, too, just to make sure that Silverio was okay. I think he was the one closest to it. He tried to make that kind of backhanded catch off to his left thigh and ultimately just missed it down by the tarp. Everybody seems just fine. And again, Russell, the lefty, ahead of the lefty Fields, 0-2.
Yeah, tarp might have saved Daniel Fields there. I think if the tarp wasn't there, Silverio might have got it. And here Russell missing down and away with some breaking stuff for ball one.
I think one of the cooler things, instead of just Quackerjack being there, is the hero that the kids usually
Yes.
write about typically is
Yep.
there. And they usually have some great stories. We've seen firefighters, police officers, military heroes.
1-2 here, same spot missed. It's even at 2-2.
Skeeters, another team that does a tremendous job in the community. I know they host a reading program during the course of their off season where Swatson, the Skeeters mascot, will go visit schools around the Sugar Land and Houston area.
Sugar Land, about 20 miles outside of Houston, Texas, to the south and west of that great city. As here Russell got ahead 0-2, is now fallen behind 3-2, and Fields will get a payoff pitch. Ducks have had only one hit today by the guy on deck, Lou Ford. A double down the left field line in the opening inning. Let's see if Fields can jumpstart the Ducks offense as he breaks his bat here, loops it towards second, but getting up and getting a little air before he put it away was Javier Betancourt, one gone.
Well, now the Ducks are going through their second trip through the order against Russell. Obviously, they hit him pretty good the first time they faced him in Sugar Land in Game 1 with those 9 hits in 6 innings. Obviously, this first time through tonight, just the one hit by Ford. For the Ducks to be successful tonight, they're going to have to find a way to make an adjustment here second time through. You know Russell's making an adjustment himself from whatever gave him troubles in Game 1. Now it's on the Ducks offense to adjust back and try and find a way to get through against the lefty.
So here is Lou. He certainly gave Russell trouble in Game 1 on Tuesday night in Texas. A 3-run homer to left in the opening inning, and 3 batters in. Long Island had a 3-0 lead, a contest the Ducks would lose 5-4 in 13 innings. Ball 1 to Lou, and now the 1-0 is taken the other way, deep right center field. Long run for everybody near the gap, and sliding and trying to come up with his Jan Santi. He can't. It's yet another double for Lou Ford, and now the Ducks will bring the tying run to the plate in Ramon Cabrera.
It is just unbelievable what Lou Ford continues to do. I think one of the things he does best is driving the ball the opposite way. Still at the age of 42, he's one of the best in this league that I have ever seen that's able to do it. And Ford there to get those arms extended against a very tough lefty, drive a ball into the gap in right center, and get it out of the reach of Anthony Ginsanti, who almost made an incredible catch once again. And Ford now with 2 doubles and 2 at-bats and a runner in scoring position for Cabrera.
So again, it breaks up the run of 8 in a row retired by Russell. Can the Ducks get on the board here as the Thunder Sticks are banging together and the faithful flock chant, "Let's go Ducks." Here is Ramon Cabrera trying to deliver Lou off second, and a first pitch curve backdoors him in there for strike 1. Cabrera flew out to center in the opening inning. So Ford, the only base runner the Ducks have had in this game. No walks from James Russell thus far. Lou a double down the left field line in the opening inning and going the other way here in the 4th. Russell away from the letters, a check of Ford. Dancing off second, then the 0-1 is foul back over the screen behind home. 0-2 on the Ducks cleanup man and DH this afternoon.
Russell's so tough. He mixes that fastball and the curveball so well just to keep these hitters off balance. Sometimes you're just out there guessing a little bit with what he can throw. And it's made it very tough on these Ducks hitters to get too many good swings against him in the early part of this game.
Cabrera's been so good in the postseason. Let's see if he can come through in a big spot here. He's down 0-2. That one up and away as Russell tried to get him to chase, but Ramon wouldn't bite. It's ball 1.
Not surprised to see Russell do that there, ahead in the count 0-2 against an aggressive swinger. That waist pitch from the lefty to try and get Cabrera to climb the ladder, chase up out of the zone. Obviously, Cabrera would like to find his way aboard with big power hitting David Washington waiting on deck.
Wide open stance from the right for Ramon. And now he gets the 1-2. And that on the ground is short. Backhanded by Silverio, falls down, gets up, and has no play. But Lou Ford had to go back on the ball hit in front of him. But the Ducks now with the tying runs aboard and 1 away for the aforementioned David Washington.
Another tough play there for Silverio to go down as an infield single. He had a range to his right, somehow came up with it, but with his momentum taking him to the right just to field it, just could not keep his footing there. It would have been a tough play anyway, throwing off balance. So Cabrera's got his first hit of the night. Now the Ducks with the time runs on, and here comes David Washington.
Well, his first time up, he hit it 397 feet just to the left of dead center before Anthony Jansanti made the putout. Here is Big David from the left against the lefty Russell in the biggest spot of the game for Long Island. First pitch curve is in there. Not a bad pitch, thinking that Washington is sitting fastball, right, Michael?
Yeah, I think he was definitely going to try and go with the off speed, the breaking ball to keep him off balance. Washington was ready to swing on the first pitch fastball like he did in the second inning.
Again, Washington 4 homers in the playoffs, leads the Atlantic League. The 0-1 is just outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, if the Ducks win this title today, his bottom of the 8th homer in Game 3 on Friday night, when the Ducks were 4 outs away from having their season end, will go down as one of the biggest playoff home runs in franchise history. Right now, he's just trying to keep the line going after the back-to-back 1-out hits. The 1-1 just upstairs, 2-1.
Certainly was a great moment. This crowd erupted, one of the loudest I've heard this ballpark. Just a great, great moment in that game to send the Ducks to a Game 4, keep their season alive, and now obviously in what has become the biggest game of the year, trying to come through once again for Long Island.
He's ahead in the count, 2-1. Russell checks second, the pitch. Off the plate for ball 3. And now David Washington just licking his chops with a perfect hitter's count.
Yep, 3-1, good hitter's count. You know he'll be ready to hack. He has drawn 8 walks thus far in this postseason, led the Ducks in walks as well. And another out of the zone here would load him up for Navarro.
So biggest pitch of the game thus far, the 3-1. In the air, but foul back behind home to the third base side, and that'll run the count full.
That's a tough pitch. Definitely a strike from Russell over the inside corner, about knee high. Washington was ready for it. Put a good swing on it, but just such a tough pitch to really put in play and do much damage with.
David just 2 for 16 in the finals, but one of those, that big home run we talked about. He'll get a 1-out payoff. Swing and a miss, he struck him out, and there are 2 away. Third strikeout for Russell.
Got to a 3-2 count. Again, Washington was ready for it. Russell challenged him with a fastball. Basically, lefty saying, I'm going to throw it, good luck hitting it. And Washington with a good swing, just missed. So a big strikeout there for Russell. And now it'll be up to Navarro to try and give the Ducks something out of this situation.
Deanna Navarro flew out to center his first time up. And now with 2 out and 2 on, he will try to pick up David Washington. Taking his time here, making Russell wait, is the former Yankee, who windmills the bat and then brings it up above his right shoulder. Russell set, check of first, and the pitch lifted back over the screen behind home for strike 1.
Russell's been so tough this year when opponents have gotten guys on base. Has not made it easy for other teams to get many good swings against him and put the ball in play. This year, opponents hit .263 though against Russell, with runners in scoring position and 2 out.
That's where the Ducks are right now. The 0-1 is hit back up the middle. Will it get through? The second baseman, Betancourt, cuts it off, steps on the bag ahead of Cabrera, and the side retired on the fielder's choice. So the Ducks threaten, but do not score. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. We're through 4 in Central Islip. It's still Sugarland 2 and Long Island nothing.
Hey fans, this is infielder Cody Puckett, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
We asked people across Long Island, what does energy efficiency mean to you?
Energy efficiency? It means finding ways to save a few dollars on my electric bill each month.
PSEG Long Island is introducing smart technologies that let you control just how much energy you use.
To me, it really is important to keep Long Island green, so future generations can enjoy our island's beauty.
And we're partnering on renewable sources that will keep Long Island sustainable for generations. Discover all of our energy efficiency programs at psegLiny.com/efficiency.
Take your group out to the ball game this season and enjoy all the fun of Ducks baseball at discounted prices with the picnic area, luxury suites, the Smokin' Owl's party deck, and so much more. Bringing your group to the game will be an unforgettable experience. The Ducks even offer opportunities to sing the national anthem, serve as the Ridgewood Savings Bank color guard, be the Nicolak Dream Team, put on a pregame performance, or shag fly balls during Ducks batting practice. To book your outing today, call 631-940-3825 and ask for the group sales department. Long Island Ducks Baseball. Good times every time.
And coming in on the right
Well, we moved to inning number 5. That always means 5th inning trivia. We give you the question in the top of the inning, the answer in the bottom of the frame, and this will concern the only previous 2 times the Ducks have played a deciding Game 5 in the Atlantic League Championship Series. Of course, the first time they did was on this field in 2012 when they beat the Lancaster Barnstormers to claim their 2nd title in franchise history, and the next time they did the very next year, 2013, in Bridgewater, New Jersey. They won the deciding game to claim back-to-back crowns, of course, on Ray Navarrette's big 4th inning 3-run homer that gave them a lead they never relinquished. So again, Michael, jumping in here on it, the question for you, there was only one Duck who was in the starting lineup for both of those Atlantic League Championship Series Game 5s in 2012 and 2013. One in the starting lineup and one Duck who pitched in both games. I think Michael's going to get this one easily. And I think most fans will get the position player, but the pitcher is a little bit of the tricky part. So again, only one Duck started both of those Atlantic League Championship Series Game 5s in 2012 and 13, and only one Duck pitched in both. Who is the only Duck to start in both as far as position player, and the only Duck to pitch in both of the previous Championship Series Game 5s the Ducks have played in? Of course, Long Island a perfect 2-0 in those contests. So we start the 5th with Sugar Land up 2-0. And Juan Silverio takes ball 1 and now strike 1 from Jake Fisher to even up the count.
Do they have to be on the current Ducks roster or just in general?
No, there was only one player in the starting lineup of both games and one player who pitched in both games.
Okay,
That's it. Okay, the 1-1 is chop foul down the left field line for strike 2 on Silverio, who's reached on an error by Cody Puckett at third and also reached on an infield single that Cody had no play out on a slow roller.
I know you live to stump me in trivia, but I think I might have you again here tonight.
Well, I think everybody's going to get the player. That's kind of easy, but the pitcher is the tricky part, but I know you'll come up with it. I think it's a real test for fans of Duck knowledge, though, because, again, we are talking 5 and 6 years ago now, but those are legendary Game 5 of a championship series. You tend to remember things about them, and there's one thing in particular about that 2013 game in New Jersey that you and I were both out that I think fans will remember as well. The 2-2 is taken the other way down the right field line, and that's going to be in for a base hit. Miles Williams trying to cut it off, but can't do it until the warning track. And cruising into second with a stand-up double is Juan Silverio.
7th hit of the night now for the Sugar Land Skeeters. They've really been attacking Jake Fisher all game long. Really, the 4th inning was his only somewhat easy inning, and he allowed the leadoff man on base. But right away again, Silverio goes the other way. He's been on base now all 3 times, albeit one of those because of an error. But now 2 hits on the night for the Skeeter shortstop.
It is the 2nd extra base hit of the game for Sugar Land. And last night the Ducks in their 6-3 victory did it with all singles. Basically had all singles, and I believe it was 1 extra base hit. Was that right, Michael, last night?
I'll double check.
I believe that's correct. Yeah, I think just 1 extra base hit last night. It was nickel and diming him to death, and this one hit well down the left field line off the bat of Chavez, and that ball is off the wall. Coming home to score is Silverio. Chavez digging for second. Here's the throw, and applying the tag is Valdespin, and he is out, I believe they're going to say. So he does get the RBI hit to make it 3-0 Sugar Land, but Chavez out trying to stretch the single into a double.
A good throw there from Lou Ford. Good strong arm. That ball was hit so hard that it's going to be tough for Chavez, who doesn't run all that well, to try and get a double on it. So the Ducks do ultimately get the first out of the inning, but back-to-back hits given up by Jake Fisher to begin this 5th inning, and Sugar Land extending their lead to 3.
So again, the RBI for Chavez is 2nd straight single, but a great throw forward to Valdespin, who applied the initial tag, and I was waiting to see whether second-place umpire Derek Moshe was going to rule, Michael, that Chavez was on the bag but came off it with that delayed call before he gave us the fist. I'm not sure whether he was out on the initial tag or perhaps a little overslide action.
It certainly seemed like the throw beat him there and that Valdespin applied the tag, but definitely a slow, deliberate call from Derek Moshe.
Here's Albert Cordero. RBI single his last time up, is also grounded out to first. And Jake Fisher out in front of him here, 0-2. So single runs by Sugar Land in inning 2, 3, and now 5. And boy, the way James Russell's been pitching for the visitors, the task becomes that much more difficult for Long Island. 0-2 curve, he waited on it, mashed it deep but foul down the left field line, and Jake Fisher got away with a hanger.
Now, Fisher's been living dangerously all night long. Ultimately, he hasn't pitched great, but has been limiting the damage to just single runs. And With an offense like the Ducks have, you're okay giving up some single runs here and there, but ultimately the Ducks offense is going to have to find a way, like you mentioned, against Russell. Obviously, it was tough for the Ducks there in that fourth. They had 2 on with 1 out with some big hitters at the plate, but could not get the job done.
Here's the 0-2, and that way up and outside. So already you're talking about needing to get 2 men aboard to have a chance with 1 swing and tie the game, and that's been so difficult with the way the veteran of nearly 400 big league games, James Russell, has pitched so far for Sugar Land. Fisher, 1-2. Got him, a call, 3rd strike on the outside corner. Make it 6 strikeouts for Jake, and 4 of them have been looking.
He's gotten a lot of looking strikeouts here in this game, has fooled a lot of these Skeeters hitters with his stuff, and he's got good stuff. Even tonight, even when he's been hit around a bit, he's still showing that he's got some pretty good stuff that he's been able to mix in there. It's just when he's had a couple instances that he's missed with some of these pitches. Not to mention this Skeeters lineup, you can't take anything away from them. They're a very, very good hitting team.
Here is Tony Thomas, who's been hitting everything in the postseason. A swing and a miss here, but Jake got him to look at strike 3 in the 2nd inning and then struck him out swinging in the 3rd. So Fisher with 1 out, or make it 2 outs, excuse me, after Chavez was tagged out at 2nd here in the 5th inning, and now gets another foul ball. So he's out in front of Thomas, trying to limit the damage to just a single run. No crooked numbers tonight for Sugar Land on that scoreboard. Of course, last night the Ducks were deuces wild early. 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd. Built a 6-1 lead and coasted home to the Game 4 win. 0-2, fastball away, and that's ball 1.
It'll be interesting what the Ducks have in their arsenal offensively from this point on. Obviously, Sugar Land's got a very good bullpen too, so you want to try and get something on the scoreboard before the Skeeters bring in that pen.
1-2 breaking ball. He waited on it, looped it into left, and it's going to be played on 1 hop by Lou Ford. So 3rd hit of the inning for the Skeeters and a 2-out runner.
The other thing you have to remember is obviously the Skeeters have 9 hits off of Fisher, but they've had a couple soft hit singles too. They've just been finding a lot of open real estate. That's been the tough part, and now John Brownell, the pitching coach, is going to come out of the dugout. This is where Brownell and Kevin Baez need to try and find a way to settle down the left-hander. He's clearly not had his best stuff tonight, but the other thing is he's now up to 99 pitches in this ball game. So Fisher's got to start thinking about how he's going to be able to will his way through the rest of this inning, potentially another inning if the Ducks need him to. But the Ducks certainly hoping for some length out of Fisher tonight, but the pitch count has been getting up there very quickly.
Yeah, again, I talked at length with Kevin Baez before the game. He wanted to get 7 innings, if possible, out of Jake Fisher and stay with that 8th and 9th inning combo of Pimentel and Abad, and doesn't have a lot of options if Jake can't give him 7 innings. He got guys he'd like to stay away from, other guys that he could go to, but again, ideally 7 innings was the mark Jake is trying to get to, but as Michael told you, he's going to be at the 100 pitch mark right here to Dennis Phipps, who's homered off him already down the right field line and also struck out swinging. First pitch on the ground to the left side for Cody Puckett. Will play it across to first, and the side retired. But Sugar Land does add a run on 3 hits, and they leave 1. We're halfway home, middle of the 5th inning tonight. It's Game 5 of the 2018 Atlantic League Championship Series, and the Sugar Land Skeeters have a 3-0 lead over the Long Island Ducks.
Hey fans, this is pitcher Matt Larkins, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
Hey, Ducks fans, the official hotel of the Long Island Ducks is the Radisson Hotel, Hauppauge, Long Island. It's centrally located on the north shore of Long Island and offers a home away from home for both business and leisure guests. The Radisson Hotel, Hauppauge, Long Island features an indoor pool, 24-hour business center, a fitness center, and complimentary Wi-Fi in all guest rooms. Enjoy the contemporary American cuisine at the Fountain Grill restaurant or grab a quick bite to eat at Cafe Pronto. And best of all, it's only minutes away from Bethpage Ballpark. The Radisson Hotel, Hauppauge, Long Island, the official hotel of the Long Island Ducks. Call 631-231-1100 today. That's 631-231-1100.
Hey Ducks fans, stay up to date with Long Island's hometown team by visiting Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks. Quack of the Bat will bring Ducks fans beyond the headlines with in-depth feature articles, breaking news stories, game previews, and so much more. Interact with the team during the entire season through quotes directly from the players and coaches, as well as exclusive video clips and photos. Check out the blog today at quackofthebat.wordpress.com. Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks.
All All right, fifth inning trivia time to wrap it up. Ducks have played only 2 other Game 5s in the Atlantic League Championship Series. In 2012, a win here over Lancaster. In 2013, a win in Somerset County, New Jersey over the Patriots. They had one player, Michael, who was in the starting lineup of both games, and only one pitcher who pitched in both of those championship Game 5s. Name each one. I know you're going to get both, I think, but most fans will get the player but not the pitcher. And we'll get to that in a second. As Miles Williams set to lead off the home fifth. Ducks are down 3-0 against the southpaw James Russell. And he faces 7-8-9 and gets strike one on Williams.
The player I'm going to guess is Dan Lyons.
Of course. The player is Dan Lyons, who had the bunt single that won the game here in 2012 over the Barnstormers in the bottom of the ninth. The waddle-off championship-winning single. Little dribbler out in front of the plate. The catcher, Norris, fires the first to get Williams for the first out.
Now, here's my question, though. Ray Navarrete wasn't in the starting lineup for both games?
He was, so my question is an error. So there it is. You're right. Boy, Ray, if you're listening, I do apologize, and Ray probably knew that answer. All right, so I messed that one up. I did. You know why? Because the tricky part is Lou Ford wasn't, because when the Ducks won here, Lou Ford was at Yankee Stadium playing for the Baltimore Orioles in a playoff game.
That is 100% correct.
Right.
We had some fans guessing Ray Navarrete on our stream, so that's why I was like, I'm pretty sure
yes,
Ray Navarrete
my error
was.
with that one. Here's Cody Bucket. So Eon, the broadcaster, there were 2 players, is what he said in the starting lineup. So yes, of course, Ray Navarrete, the great number 16, and the great number 12, Dan Lyons. But the pitcher is the tricky one, and if anybody on the stream comes up with a pitcher, Michael, let me know. I'd be very impressed. 1-0 here, misses up and away to Puckett. It's 2-0 to Cody, who's flied out to left, his only trip to the dish.
Well, assuming that my answer is correct, I think Anthony Foss 11 on YouTube has it, and that's Leo Rosales.
You and Anthony are both correct. How about that? So Leo Rosales is the answer. He had the save in the 2013 win, the last title the Ducks won, because John Brownell, on 3 days rest, threw 8 innings and set a franchise record by winning his 3rd game of the playoffs. And he also got the win here because he was the last pitcher the Ducks used before Lyons dropped down the bunt in 2012. So again, that is the answer from the pitching side. Leo Rosales, the win in Game 5 of the championship series in 2012, and the save the very next year.
I'll talk about one thing I think a lot of people forget about that Game 5 in 2012 also.
This one fouled away.
If you remember, Leo Rosales came in to try and get the save in the top of the ninth. The Ducks were leading. He allowed a home run in that inning to make it a 1-run game. And then Dan Lyons committed an error, a throwing error with 2 outs on what would have ended the game. That allowed the Barnstormers to tie it. And then, of course, Lyons got redemption in the bottom half of the inning.
He made the ultimate error, and then he got the ultimate atonement as he went from the GOAT to the hero that very night. This one in the air, center field. Jan Santi loping over to his left, now a couple of steps back, and makes the grab for the second out as Cody drops to 0 for 2.
Those are 2 very memorable Game 5s for sure. Of course, John Brownell in 2012 was actually the Game 4 starting pitcher for the Ducks in both series. Pitched well in them both. Did not get the win, though, in the first round, but in an elimination game in that championship series against the Barnstormers, pitched extremely well on this field to force the decisive Game 5, and it was Bobby Blevins who then got the win in Game 5 for the Ducks.
Bobby Blevins was Mr. Game 5 that year for Long Island, and now it's Dan Lyons, the MVP of the 2012 playoffs, hitting one deep to left. Going back is Barnes at the track near the wall, looking up, and the ball is gone! A solo homer to left for Dan Lyons, his first of the playoffs, and the Ducks finally break through here in the bottom of the 5th to make it a 3-1 game. Shorty will step on home, and Long Island's within 2.
Well, you just get a sense the Ducks needed something, and Dan Lyons, he didn't hit it all that hard, but he got it over the fence out and left, just snuck over there. And of course, it's the veteran Duck shortstop who comes up with a clutch 2-out hit here in the 5th inning.
So they finally get something against James Russell, something for the faithful flock to cheer about, and now it's a 2-run game as Lyons goes yard, and now Valdespin at the top of the order awaits Russell's first offering. And that one just missing away. So a 2-out solo homer snuck over the wall and left by the 8-year Long Island Duck Dan Lyons. And Long Island finally has something to cheer about offensively. Now can Jordani Valdespin keep it going, their MVP of the regular season. The 1-0 is way upstairs for ball 2.
Something about Game 5s on this field for Dan Lyons that just get him up and going.
Just incredible. Dan, in the regular season for Long Island, had 6 home runs, and he adds his first of the postseason. Now Despina is yet to get a hit or get a board. He's reached in all 9 playoff games this year, and he has hits in every championship series game. Here he lifts it in the air, shallow center, a long run in for Jansanti, still coming hard, and is able to put it away to retire the side. But the Ducks do get on the board. A 2-out solo shot to left for Dan Lyons, and Long Island makes it a 3-1 game as we head to the 6th in CI.
Hey, fam, this is Jordani Valles, being second baseman, and you're listening to Duck Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
Going way back is Joe Holden, and he is looking up, and that one is headed to field 5 at Robert Moses. The waves are gnarly, and the Ducks have tied it at 1. That was another home run for the Ducks. And Duck fans, what's more fun than a home run that helps the Ducks win a game? How about a homer that helps the community win? Chappie's Funeral Home and the Long Island Ducks have once again teamed up for the Chappie's Home Run Challenge. If the Ducks hit 100 homers this season, Chappie's Funeral Home will donate $5,000 to the Quackerjack Foundation. So every time a Ducks hitter goes deep this season, watch for the Chappie's Challenge home run count on the scoreboard. And if we reach 100, we're all a winner. Chappie's Funeral Home, where caring for others is a family tradition.
Can't get enough of the Long Island Ducks? Well, now you can get even more inside info on your favorite hometown team through Facebook and Twitter. The Ducks are constantly updating fans through social media with scores, transactions, ballpark promotions, and much more. You can even win great prizes. All you'll need to do is make a free account on Facebook and Twitter, and then visit us at facebook.com/LIDucks and twitter.com/LIDucks. Think you're Long Island's biggest Ducks fan? Get connected now.
Well, the Ducks are on the scoreboard as a solo home run by Dan Lyons has made this a 2-run ball game at 3-1, and now it'll be right-hander Matt Larkins who takes the mound for the Ducks, pitching on 3 days rest. Of course, started Game 2 for the Long Island Ducks down in Sugar Land, Texas. Battled, ended up taking the loss as the Ducks lost that game 10-0. And after the struggles of Jake Fisher over 5 innings, he was able to keep the Ducks in this game, though, despite allowing 9 hits. But Kevin Bynes now will turn the ball over to right-hander Matt Larkins, trying to keep this ball game right where it's at.
Of course, Matt Larkins came out of the bullpen in the 13th inning check the opening round series, Game 5 in Somerset, in the 10th inning. My error, the 13th-inning game was Game 1 in Sugar Land, but put him out of the bullpen in the 10th inning of the clincher against the Somerset Patriots after using Francisco Rodriguez in the 9th, and of course the Ducks would win it in 10 innings of the deciding game there. So Larkins again out of the pen here. Something that I talked about with Kevin, he had a possibility of using Matt Larkins or Asher Tolliver, but obviously with a lineup that's stacked with 8 righties and 1 switch hitter, he'd rather go with the right-hander in Larkins than the left-hander in Tolliver. So big spot for Larkins to try to keep it now a 2-run game. You always want to get that immediate hold after you chop into the lead, as Dan Lyons did with that solo shot. 3-1 game goes to the 6th, and Larkins to start against 9-1-2 Betancourt, Barnes, and Jansanti.
You talk about that hold, and that's the critical point from this point on. The Ducks have life. Lyons has given it to them. Now they've got to find a way to keep this Skeeters team at bay off the scoreboard and allow the offense just to try and get some guys on, get some guys in against Russell.
So Matt Larkins, first pitch of the game to Betancourt, is an inside strike, 0-1. Jake Fisher in 5 games this year against the Sugar Land Skeeters, Mike, went 33 2/3 innings, allowed 4 earned runs total in those 5 games. He gave up 3 here today in just 5 innings of work. So 5 games versus 5 innings, but the Skeeters got to him when they needed to most, and that's why they lead by 2 here as we start the 6th.
That's why I said you can kind of throw out all that's happened before when you get to these winner-take-all Game 5s. Everything that happened before goes kind of out the window.
The 1-1 is down and away for ball 2.
And ultimately, you give him credit, though. He certainly had a battle over those 5 innings. The Skeeters had a ton of base runners against him, but to limit them to 3 runs, he did very much what Russell did in Game 1 for the Skeeters, and that was strand a lot of guys on base. 8 men left on in 5 innings for the Skeeters. The Ducks left 9 on in 5 innings against Russell in Game 1.
2-1 here is a strike. Again, Sugar Land left at least 1 man on base in every inning against Jake Fisher. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, and single runners in the 4th and 5th. So it could have been much worse. And instead, Long Island stayed within striking distance, and Lyons homer put them a bloop and a blast away from tying the contest. This one fouled away down the right field line by Betancourt, who's reached both times tonight, a single left and a walk, as he battles Larkins here to open the visitors' sixth.
Like, two things I could say for certain. If the Skeeters hang on and find a way to win this game, the Ducks will rue those missed opportunities in the first 5 innings of Game 1.
Yep.
If the Ducks rally to win here tonight, the Skeeters will rue those missed opportunities over the first 5 innings here.
Exactly right. It always comes back to get you. The 2-2 is in the air and deep to right center field. That will split the outfielders and go all the way to the wall. Now it's Miles Williams, the right fielder, playing it in, but third time tonight, Betancourt, inserted into the lineup in the 9-hole, has gotten aboard, and it's a 2-bagger the other way.
Javier Betancourt is certainly doing his job, inserted into the lineup as the starter for the first time in this series here tonight. And as you mentioned, 2 hits and a walk now for the second baseman, and there's no other way to say it, but the Ducks pitching staff has to do a much better job against Betancourt, who hit just .201 during the regular season for this Skeeters team. He's not the guy that you can allow to get on base. The other guys in the lineup are going to generate and get a lot of hits and get on base as it is. He's not the guy that you can allow to get on.
So immediately a runner in scoring position after the Ducks got their first run in the bottom of the 5th, as Betancourt pulls into second, standing up, and they roll it over to the top of the order for Barrett Barnes, who's sandwiched a single in between a ground out and a pop out. He's 1 for 3. So Larkins checks him, comes home, and that in the dirt for ball 1. Barnes is the player, again, that had a pair of homers in Game 2 of this series down in Texas, the 10-0 Sugarland win, and also has hits in all 5 contests of this series. He and Dennis Phipps, the only 2 who can claim that for Sugarland. The 1-0 is taken foul high up on the first base side, a ball and a strike.
By the way, this stat just sent to me by former Atlantic League broadcaster Paul Braverman. This is the final domestic minor league game of 2018. Every other minor league season has wrapped up the Atlantic League going the longest, and this one is the final minor league game of the year in America tonight.
Thank you, Paul, for passing that along, and thanks everybody for joining us tonight here on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network. Whether you're a Ducks fan, a Skeeters fan, Atlantic League fan, or baseball fan, there's nothing like a deciding game of a championship series, and the Ducks are hoping this one will have a memorable ending, but the home team does trail by 2 here as we start the 6th.
Just such a privilege to get a chance to watch these 2 teams go at it. It's been a privilege watching this postseason really across the Atlantic League. Fans of the Ducks, the Skeeters, the Patriots, the Barnstormers, or just fans of any team that have watched these games really have gotten such a treat getting to watch these very talented players go at it in this postseason.
Be a 1-2 coming here to Barnes as Larkins with a long stare at Betancourt and then a little tapper foul. Again, we talked about it earlier, but the first time in Atlantic League history that all 3 playoff series have gone the distance to 5 games. The league switched from a best-of-3 opening round to a best-of-5 opening round in 2009. So from 2009 to here in 2018, it had never happened where every series played went the distance, but this year it has. And again, for the Ducks and Skeeters, their opening round series not only went 5, it went to extra innings in Game 5 before both teams came away victorious. This is another looper foul first base side. David Washington will give it a run over, but it's about 2 rows in. And the battle continues here between Larkins and Barnes.
I know so many people who are glued to their computers and listening devices any way that they could stay in tune to these games. And obviously the Ducks game ended first, going only 10 innings, but also it started earlier than the Skeeters Barnstormers game did. So everybody was watching the Ducks game, and then once that game ended, everybody who was at TD Bank Ballpark was tuning in to see who the Ducks were going to end up playing. And it seemed for so long like it was going to be Lancaster, and then the Skeeters just came out of nowhere to win that game and find their way into the Atlantic League Championship Series.
Yeah, Skeeters were down 5-2 in the bottom of the 9th on their home field, facing elimination, rallied to tie it. We're down 6-5 in the bottom of the 10th, tied it, and then got a walk-off grand slam from Tony Thomas. What a way to punch your ticket to the finals. Here, did he hold up? They appealed to first. Ryan Benson said yes, and so it's a ball to Barrett Barnes rather than a strike.
Tough pitch there from Larkins, and almost had Barnes swinging, but he was just able to hold up. Not easy to do on a tough pitch like that down in the zone, as Barnes trying to move the runner over to third base, probably with a ground ball to the right side, but Barnes was able to hold up and keep his at-bat alive.
Well, double by Betancourt, the 10th hit of the night for Sugarland. The Ducks have just 4. Larkins with a long stare toward Betancourt, and Betancourt going back to the bag despite the fact no one was covering for Long Island. You see that an awful lot, and everybody will reset. So Betancourt walks it off second. Barnes from the right-hand batter's box is ready. Larkins nods in agreement with Navarro's signal. At the belt and then the pitch. Down and away again. He was able to hold up, and he's worked it full.
After the Skeeters showed so much patience with Jake Fisher, working him to 100 pitches over 5 innings, 64 of which were strikes, they're showing patience again here with Larkins. A 6-pitch at bat before the double by Betancourt. This at bat has already been 7 pitches long. There's still nobody out in this 6th inning.
Just a very different approach from what we've seen from Sugarland throughout the regular season and the postseason in games against Long Island, but it's paid off for him thus far. So a payoff to follow. And that one punched to second. Valdespin can't get it. It rolls under his glove. They're going to send Betancourt home. He will score. It's an RBI single for Barrett Barnes. And just 2 batters into the 6th, the Skeeters restore the 3-1 lead, or 3-run lead. It's 4-1 Sugarland.
Obviously not what Kevin Baez and the Ducks were hoping out of Larkins after he takes over for Jake Fisher, who clearly had his struggles tonight. Remember, Larkins pitched in Game 2 of this series against these Skeeters, and Larkins was also hit around a bit. 8 hits in 5 2/3 innings, and he allowed 6 runs, 3 of those earned. But Kevin Baez sticking with him, and right away the 9 and 1 hitters come up with back-to-back hits and long at-bats, and they get that run right back.
So here's Anthony Jansanti. And the first pitch to him is a strike. And Michael, even if Valdespin just could have knocked it down, he would have prevented the run from scoring, and I thought he would have the ability to do that. He made a dive to his right, but it just got under his glove. And easily scoring from second is Betancourt to put the lead back at 3. Just a crusher for the Ducks and this home crowd that was going crazy when Dan Lyons put it out of the yard in the bottom of the 5th. We'll toss over to first here, but Barnes is back. Barnes in the regular season, 24 stolen bases, was caught 9 times. Did get caught stealing here last night in the Ducks' Game 4 victory. Still nobody out for Sugarland, as for the 4th time tonight, they have a single run on the board. 0-1 is in the air to left. Ford with a late jump on it will come in and make the catch for the first out.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything that Valdespin really did wrong on that ground ball. It was hit hard up the middle. His only attempt at it was to make the dive up the middle, and it almost seemed like he had dove a little bit past it, and the ball kind of snuck under his arm. But again, that's just a timing thing. It's tough. You know the ball is hit hard. That's really the only play you have at it. If he makes the play, it's a marvelous play. And ultimately, just again, Larkins got ahead in the count there, 1-2. You're ahead 1-2. He threw a lot of tough pitches that Barnes fouled off, but then try to get him to chase. He missed twice. You get to a full count and then have to throw a strike at that point.
There's Derek Norris taken down and away, and that's how I saw it too, Michael. It was almost as if Valdespin's glove went past the ball and it kind of rolled underneath his forearm into the outfield rather than under his glove. And again, I'm not putting anything against Giordani there. He did everything he could to knock it down, but just such a difference between that rolling through and not rolling through. It's a run on the board for the visitors. 1-0 here is a little chopper foul at the plate. So a ball and a strike now on Norris, who has twice struck out looking against Jake Fisher and also drawn a walk.
And ultimately, the bottom line is Larkins has to put that out of his memory quickly, just find a way to try and get outs here. The last thing the Ducks can afford to do. You give up a run here and there, you still have a chance, but if you start allowing multiple run innings up, it's going to be very difficult, whether it's against Russell or a Skeeters bullpen, for this Ducks team to come back.
So the count 1-1 on Norris. He and Jansanti, the only Skeeters without a hit so far in this game. 1-1 is down and away. Again, Sugarland now out hitting Long Island 11-4. And the lead is back to 3 in the top of the 6th. Single runs for Sugarland in innings 2, 3, 5, and 6. The only Long Island run in the last of the 5th. Larkins at the belt. Long hold, and then the 2-1 outside for ball 3.
Skeeters just continuing to show patience in almost every at-bat. And Larkins going to have to challenge these hitters. That's been the tough part, though, is it feels like when the Ducks do challenge these hitters, they're putting the ball to the outfield, they're getting on base, but not getting enough swings and misses are these Ducks pitchers in this game, and that's been part of the issue.
So big pitch here for the right-hander at 3-1. And that misses low for his first walk. And the Skeeters with first and second, one away for their cleanup hitter, Juan Silverio.
And it's tough for Kevin Baez because he doesn't have a ton of options. You look at the long relief options for the Ducks manager here in this game. Larkins is certainly one. Hector Silvestre, a lefty, is another. But you look at the Skeeters lineup, they don't have any lefties in the lineup. So it's tough to really go with Silvestre. He did do very well against the Sugarland lineup, albeit in a game that was meaningless the last day of the regular season in long relief behind Barcelo through 5 strong innings. But again, very different scenario in this situation than it was that day.
So the walk to Norris pushes Barnes to second. Still just one away, and here's Silverio, who has reached all 3 times tonight as he puts it deep down the right field line, but slicing away foul out of play off the glove of a fan down there. Silverio's reached on an error by Puckett at third, reached on an infield single and scored, and doubled and scored. So he is 2 for 3, single-double, 2 runs in is Silverio for Sugarland.
You've got to give the Skeeters a ton of credit for the patience that they have shown in these tough at-bats. They're not making it easy at all on these Ducks pitchers. Very different than what we saw here in the first 2 games here on Long Island, in games 3 and 4. Very different approach, and it's been working out for Sugarland.
Larkins, couple of checks of second where Barnes leads away. And then a foul ball headed down the right field line. Similar spot. Miles Williams trying to get there, and just about near that same fan again who had it go off his glove. A little short of him that time. And this time a good start for Matt Larkins at 0-2 on Juan Silverio. So again, we're in the top of the 6th. Sugarland has the lead back to its largest margin of 3 runs. And the way James Russell's been pitching and the way Michael has detailed what the bullpen of the Skeeters has done this year, 3 runs is a big deficit right now for Long Island, although they do have 4 innings to do something about it. 0-2 again, down and away for ball 1.
And that's certainly not to say that the Ducks are incapable of doing anything against the Skeeters bullpen. We've seen a couple of home runs from this Ducks team against Sugarland's bullpen in this postseason, in this series. But obviously, like I said, you keep it a ball game, it's certainly a chance. But if the Skeeters are able to put up a big inning, multiple runs, that's when it becomes a lot more difficult to make the comeback.
Thundersticks are behind Matt Larkins here at 1-2. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. So first strikeout for Larkins, a huge second out in the visitors' 6th.
And those are the types of pitches we'll need to see from Matt Larkins if the Ducks are to be successful and keep the Skeeters off the scoreboard. Pitch was over the plate, but it was down. That's exactly where you want to throw it if you're Larkins. Put it near the plate so it looks like it's going to be a strike, especially when you've got 2 strikes on a hitter. They have to protect the plate, but you want to keep the ball down, especially with runners on base. That way it doesn't give them the opportunity to really get a good swing on it, and if they do, it'll likely be one that goes into the ground, potential for a double play.
Well, here is Matt Chavez, 2 for 3 tonight with a pair of singles and a run batted in, 2 on, 2 out for Larkins. And boy, just half a swing, if you will, waves through that for strike 1. Jake Fisher tonight, 5 innings of 9 hit, 3-run ball. He walked 2, struck out 6, and allowed the Phipps solo homer back in the 2nd. So make it 7 total strikeouts for Ducks pitching tonight with that whiff of Silverio by Larkins. Jake leaves on the short end of the score. So he can lose it, he cannot win it. 0-1, breaking ball and foul down at the plate by Chavez. And once again, a good 0-2 start for Larkins against yet another righty in that Sugarland order.
They got 100 pitches on the night for Fisher, 64 of them for strikes. He threw just over 100 pitches back in game number 1. Skeeters worked him early and often during the course of his game. He had to battle his way through, and now Larkins trying to battle through this 6th inning without allowing any further damage.
Again, it's Barnes at second, Norris at first as 2 out runners as the Thunderstick rally continues here on Long Island. They got the big orange tubes of air banging together loud as Larkins misses wide. Crowd doesn't agree, it's ball 1.
That was the right call. It was a good idea by Larkins. Try to paint the outside corner with a hard fastball. And nearly did, just a little bit off the plate. I think home plate umpire Tim Ross had the right call on that pitch.
So count 1-2 now on Chavez as he stares out towards Larkins' way. Larkins another check of Barnes before coming home. Got him, a called third strike. Huge K from Matt Larkins. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning, and he limits the damage as Sugar Land has to settle for a run on a walk and 2 hits. They leave a pair. To the bottom of the 6th we go on the island. The Skeeters have a 4-1 lead in this deciding Game 5 of the 2018 Atlantic League Championship Series.
Hey fans, this is shortstop Dan Lyons, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
Oh, I love it. The color of my new Nicolot patio is so vibrant. It's unlike anything I've ever seen.
You're welcome. I'm just going to go finish that Nicolak walkway now.
Make your pavers vivid Nicolot pavers. The best looking, most vibrant pavers with the most 3-color blends in the industry. Featuring Nicolot's exclusive paver shield and color blending technology. With color throughout and guaranteed not to fade. Live life in color with Nicolot. Visit Nicolot.com.
Have your birthday at the ballpark this season and celebrate with the flock. Kona Ice birthday party packages with the Long Island Ducks are now available. Each package includes 10 box seats, a commemorative birthday t-shirt, and autographed baseball. Refreshments including hot dogs, chips, cupcakes, frozen ice treats, and so much more. Best of all, the birthday child will stand on the dugout while the entire crowd sings happy birthday. Reserve your party today by calling the group sales department at 631-940-3825. Kona Ice birthday parties with the Long Island Ducks, a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Well, Ducks fans, don't forget to stop by the Waddle Inn shop on your next visit to Bethpage Ballpark, where exclusive hard-to-find Ducks memorabilia is now on sale. Proceeds benefit the Quacker Jack Foundation, the charitable arm of the Long Island Ducks. Of course, today is the final day of the year, no matter what. There is no more baseball after today. But surely, as you look forward towards what will eventually come, the winter and the holidays, surely the Waddle Inn shop will be back open again for you to get all of those Ducks merchandise that you're looking for the Ducks fan, baseball fan in your life. And obviously, I'm sure many other items always available online at liducks.com. You can stock up on Ducks gear throughout the year.
The next Ducks game here will probably be late April or early May of 2019. And such a sense of community here, Michael. I know when this game ends, if the Ducks win or lose, you'll see people hugging one another. They know they won't see their good friends and the people who sit around them in their sections for 5 or 6 months. So it's a long time away as Daniel Fields begins the bottom of the 6th against James Russell, the lefty, who's been dominant. Leading 4-1 are the Skeeters, and he's held the flock to just 4 base hits, 3 of them for extra bases. Again, a single, pair of doubles by Lou Ford and the Dan Lyons homer. But Fields under it here to shallow center. It's the shortstop, Silverio, with the call, and out number 1 in his glove.
You just see that frustration there from Daniel Fields. It's been that kind of night for this Ducks offense, which has hit so well here at home in the postseason. You look at the home road splits of the playoffs for the Ducks. It's been incredible. In their 4 home games during this postseason, 341 batting average as a team and pitching to a 1.75 ERA. On the road, 247 batting average as a team, 4.63 ERA. So that's been the frustrating part for the Ducks tonight.
Here is Lou Ford, again perfect tonight against James Russell with a pair of doubles. Down in the opening inning, it went to the left field line, and in the 4th, it went to the gap in right center. This time, Russell starts him out with strike 1. The 0-1, he thought about it, laid off it, it missed away. 1 ball and 1 strike, and again, we keep telling you how Lou hit that 3-run homer off James Russell in the very first inning of Game 1 down in Sugar Land on Tuesday night. So can Lou make it 3 for 3 here and give Long Island a base runner? Little tapper toward third, charging is Cordero. Barehand his only play, throws to first, and unable to come up with it is Chavez. Lou Ford has reached for the 3rd time in the contest.
Another base hit for Lou Ford. Again, another tough play for Cordero. Had a race in, barehand throw off balance, and they nearly had him. If only Chavez was able to pick it out, they would have had the 2nd out of the inning. But Lou Ford, again, 3 more hits. And what more can you say about Lou Ford? I mean, it's unbelievable what he has done this year for this team. 293 batting average with 73 RBIs during the regular season. He's now got 15 hits here in the postseason for the Ducks. Just doing everything possible to try and claim that Atlantic League title. And certainly you have to admire what Ford at 42 years old has done.
And you'd have to think, Michael, the way he's playing, he'll be back next season. I mean, it would be a 10th year in the green and orange for Lou Ford if he returns. Here's Ramon Cabrera, Lou the one-out runner at first. Tying run now on deck for Long Island as Russell misses up high with ball one. Cabrera tonight an infield single and a fly to center.
He didn't want to reveal at the beginning of the season whether or not it would be his last. He wanted to say he had to see how he felt as the year went on and how he felt mentally at the end of it. But you're right, with the way he's played, I don't know why he'd ever stop playing.
The Thundersticks are going again. The 1-0 is in there for a strike. So, we talk about next season. Will Lou Ford be back for a 10th year? Will Dan Lyons be back for a 9th year? Will Cody Puckett be back for a 6th year? You always think about the longest tenured members of the Long Island Ducks and whether we are seeing them for the final time in the green and orange here this afternoon.
The Ducks have had so many on this team that have been so key to their success this decade.
The chant is "Let's go Ducks" as the backdoor breaker misses from Russell, and it's 2 balls and a strike now on the Ducks cleanup man in DH, Ramon Cabrera.
Cabrera's got 1 hit tonight. He's got 13 here in the playoffs, and if the Ducks are going to be successful coming back here tonight, they need to start stringing together hits, multiple hits in a row, try and keep moving that line and get contributors up and down the lineup.
He's 8 for 20 in the finals is Cabrera, and here he fouls one off the mask of the catcher Norris. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
But of course, it's easier said than done. We say and we've talked about what the Ducks need to do. Now they have to go out and do it. That's a lot easier for us to say just go out there and do it. It's up to these players to do it against Russell, who's been very efficient in this game, only had 76 pitches, and has been really keeping this Ducks lineup off balance over the first 5+ innings tonight.
So big moment here, because if Cabrera can get aboard, David Washington looms on deck, and he could tie the game with 1 swing. The 2-2 popped up here, shallow right field. The second baseman, Betancourt, going out. Called off by the right fielder, Thomas, and it drops in. But now they're going to have a play at second as Lou Ford had to hold up, and they will get the fielder's choice there for the second out.
What a tough break for the Ducks. Lou Ford was ranging off of first when he saw Thomas coming in. I think he thought Thomas had caught that right away and started to make his way back to first, then realized he didn't come up with it and had to retreat, try and go to second, but no chance at that point. It would go down as a 4-6 fielder's choice as Betancourt was the one who ended up coming up with it. Nearly a break for the Ducks that would have put 2 on and brought the tying run to the plate, but an unfortunate break there for the Ducks as now there are 2 outs in the inning.
Well, here is David Washington, though, and he will go after the first pitch downstairs and come over the top of it for strike 1. Again, he flew out to deep center, nearly 400 feet away, putting Jan Santi to the wall in the second inning, and then struck out swinging in the 4th. The 10th time he struck out in this 5-game series. 0-1, and had a beautiful breaker on the outer edge for strike 2.
Obviously, Washington knows he wants to hit the ball over the fence, as does every fan here, like we saw in Game 3, but he's got to keep it simple. Just try and put the ball to the outfield, get on base, and bring Navarro up.
He's only 2 for 17 in the finals. One of those 2, the big homer, but this time Russell gets him swinging over the top of it, and the side retired. No runs a hit and 1 man left. 6 in the books in CI. It remains the Sugarland Skeeters 4, the Long Island Ducks 1.
Hey fan, this is Carlos Pimentel, pitcher, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
Baseball fans, the Long Island Ducks mobile app has officially arrived. Powered by Clear Vision Apps, it's your one-stop shop for all things Ducks baseball. Buy tickets straight from your mobile device. Receive game status updates with push notifications. Check out up-to-the-minute news and scores and interact with the Ducks on social media. Best of all, it's free. Download the Ducks mobile app today by visiting the App Store on your Apple-powered device or Google Play on your Android-powered device. The Long Island Ducks mobile app, with you wherever you flock to.
This season, build new memories.
Beautiful evening for baseball.
This season, witness the action.
He reaches up, it's gone!
This season, celebrate an all-star summer.
The Ducks have won it 7-1.
Gather your friends and family for an entertainment experience like no other. The Ducks 2018 schedule is full of new promotions, and with free parking and tickets starting at just $12, there's no better value on Long Island. Get tickets to an all-star summer at liducks.com.
Asher Tolliver, the lefty, going to take over on the mound for the Ducks as we make our way to the 7th inning here at Bethpage Ballpark. The Skeeters with a 4-1 lead, 9 defensive outs away from their second Atlantic League championship in 3 seasons. They would have won them both on this field if they could seal the deal tonight. Meanwhile, it's on the Ducks bullpen to try and keep this a 3-run game. Tolliver will take over as the left-hander will come on a pitch for the Ducks. Thus far in the postseason, Tolliver has pitched in a total of 2 games for the Ducks. He has thrown 2 scoreless innings and allowed a hit and a walk while striking out 1. Tolliver had a pretty strong season for the Ducks, a little bit of up and down overall, but was 2-2 with a 4.34 ERA in 49 appearances for Long Island. So Kevin Baez goes to the left-hander here in the 7th with the switch-hitting Cordero leading off and the righties Thomas and Phipps to follow.
Tolliver's only 2 outings in the postseason. Game 1 of this championship series against the Sugarland Skeeters and Game 2 of the Liberty Division Championship Series against the Somerset Patriots. So Matt Larkins works just the 6th inning, 1 inning of work, 2 hits, a run. It was earned, a walk and 2 strikeouts, and gives way now to Tolliver. And he'll go against the switch-hitting Cordero, with the Skeeters taking a 4-1 lead to the 7th inning. It's getting late early for Duck fans, as Yogi would say. Cordero tonight is 1 for 3 with an RBI single in between a ground out and a strikeout looking. So can Asher Tolliver keep it at 3 runs with the Ducks still with 3 innings with which to work? The southpaw's pitch is pop foul back behind home plate for strike 1 on Cordero.
So Matt Larkins goes 1 inning in relief for the Ducks. He allows a run on, 2 hits and a walk while striking out 2. He had a very long inning there in the 6th, well over 20 pitches. I think Kevin Baez would have liked to get multiple innings out of him, but again, after a long inning pitching on just 3 days of rest, very tough to expect that out of the right-hander.
Yeah, certainly with that stacked lineup from the right side, you'd love to have to stay away from the lefty in Tolliver, but Michael makes a great point as this one is tap foul at the plate. Good start for Asher, but nothing in 2 on Cordero. Again, the Skeeters have left 10 men on base already through 6 innings and have left 1 man on base in every single frame of this game. So the Ducks are very lucky right now to be within 3 as we start the 7th.
Those 29 pitches exactly for Larkins in inning number 6.
Asher will come set here away from the letters, drop it down to the belt. And the 0-2 is chopped to the left side, backhanded by Lyons at short. Nice gun across the diamond to Washington, and 6-3 goes the first out.
You got to give credit to James Russell, what he has done. He's really kept this Ducks lineup off balance. This Ducks team that has swung the bat so well here at home. Obviously, game 3 of this series, they really didn't up until the Washington home run. But this Skeeters team has been so tough pitching all year long. It's not easy for opponents to hit against them. And Russell, after some struggles in game 1, but was able to get out of a lot of those jams, pitching much more comfortably here tonight.
So Tolliver against Tony Thomas, a single to left his last time through. Prior to that, a pair of strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging. And this time strike 1. And if you think about it, Michael, you go back to that game 1 where Russell gave up the 3-run homer to Lou Ford and then nothing the rest of the way. And tonight just a single run through 6 innings. So he has held the Ducks to that 1 run over his last 11 innings of work against Long Island.
Yep.
Tremendous effort by the veteran of nearly 400 big league games, James Russell. Asher Tolliver in his groove early here as now it's 0-2 on Tony Thomas.
It's a matter of both teams having their pitcher that they wanted on the mound here for this decisive game 5. It was just a matter of who would end up turning in the better start, and right now it's been Russell.
Russell has been that much better than Fisher, and Fisher was just slightly better than Russell in game 1 that, again, the Skeeters won in 13 innings Tuesday night down in Texas. Asher here went wide, hoping to get Thomas to chase. He wouldn't. His ball 1. We talk a lot about the next time the fans will be here, Michael, probably late April or early May of 2019. And this will be, for them and for us, the 20th anniversary season of Ducks baseball next year. I cannot wait for that. Can't believe it'll be 20 years of Ducks baseball as Tolliver goes down and away. But indeed, we started in 2000, and it'll be the 20th year next year, and that's a milestone for any organization.
Of course, the Ducks hoping to celebrate that along with trying to defend an Atlantic League championship. It certainly will be a memorable season coming up next year for Long Island as well.
2-2 is on the inside corner for strike 3. So Tolliver has his first strikeout, 9th for Duck pitching, 2 gone.
Of course, right now, The Ducks are just not even worried about next year. They're totally focused on the task at hand, and they certainly know what stands in front of them. Ducks have been a very good come-from-behind team during the course of this season, and certainly going to need their biggest comeback yet if they want to find their way to a championship trophy.
So Ducks trying to retire the side in order. That has yet to happen today. Dennis Phipps homered down the right field line his first time up. Since then, he has struck out and grounded out. And this one way low and inside for ball one. And Mike, you talk about a team in the Ducks that didn't make the playoffs until game number 125 of a 126-game season that went to extra innings. Incredible feat to do that. Of course, during the course of the year, they hosted the All-Star game. They had Bud Harrelson night. It's been such an amazing season that they would love to cap off with a championship leading into their 20th anniversary year. As this one misses, it's 2-0.
There have been so many occurrences that have happened during the course of the year, and one thing, too, you think about is Skeeters won the first half, so they really haven't had too many meaningful games since they clinched that first half title. Obviously, they had Game 5 at home. They also had Game 4 when they were trailing 2-1 in the first round, but haven't had quite as many as the Ducks have had.
Tolliver here gets the outside edge. Phipps is none too happy about it, and the count 2-1.
And of course, when I say meaningful, I mean more of those high-stress
Right.
games, the more of the must-win type of games for a team that really was the best team overall record-wise in the Atlantic League this year. The Ducks, as you mentioned, didn't get in until the second to last day of the regular season.
2-1 here is a moon ball to left. Lou Ford now jogs in a little bit, will camp out, come back a step, and put it away. And for the first time tonight, the Ducks retire the side in order as the Skeeters go 1-2-3, making this another PSEG Long Island energy-efficient inning. With energy efficiency programs from PSEG Long Island, saving on your electric bill is also as easy as 1-2-3. Visit PSEGLINY.com/save money. It's just one more way PSEG Long Island is making things work for you. Time to stretch. Middle of the 7th inning tonight at Bethpage Ballpark. The Skeeters on top of the Ducks, 4-1.
Hey fans, this is pitcher Dennis O'Grady, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
We asked people across Long Island, what does energy efficiency mean to you?
Energy efficiency? It means finding ways to save a few dollars on my electric bill each month.
PSEG Long Island is introducing smart technologies that let you control just how much energy you use.
To me, it really is important to keep Long Island green so future generations can enjoy our island's beauty.
And we're partnering on renewable sources that will keep Long Island sustainable for generations. Discover all of our energy efficiency programs at PSEGLINY.com/efficiency.
Can't get enough of the Long Island Ducks? Well, now you can get even more inside info on your favorite hometown team through Facebook and Twitter. The Ducks are constantly updating fans through social media with scores, transactions, ballpark promotions, and much more. You can even win great prizes. All you'll need to do is make a free account on Facebook and Twitter, and then visit us at facebook.com/LIDucks and twitter.com/LIDucks. Think you're Long Island's biggest Ducks fan? Get connected now.
Fans, a reminder that fresh local coffee is now brewing at the first and third base concession stands here at Bethpage Ballpark, and homebrewed iced coffee is available at the Duck Island Kitchen. Grab yourself a hot or iced Ducks blend from Hampton Coffee Company today. You're on your next visit here to Bethpage Ballpark.
Well, we head to the last of the 7th. Ducks trail at 4-1. Again, they've got 9 outs to try to get something done against Southpaw James Russell and or the Skeeter bullpen. And it'll start with Deanna Navarro, the catcher and 6-hitter. He has flied to center and bounced into a force play. So James Russell, the Southpaw, back to work here. Again, the son of Jeff Russell, a 2-time Major League All-Star with the Texas Rangers. And that is why James, the man on the hill, was born in Cincinnati and now calls Texas his home because, yes, his dad was in the big leagues. Again, not only once, but twice got to pitch in the All-Star game. Strike one to Navarro, and now ball one to even things up on Deanna.
Ducks certainly know what they have ahead of them from this point on. Skeeters just 9 defensive outs away from the championship. And it's all about not trying to do too much, just trying to put the ball in play and find your way on base.
1-1 here is a cue ball to first. Chavez with plenty of time to grab it, step on the bag for out number 1, which goes 3 unassisted.
As we've talked about, that's easier said than done. And you look at the Ducks hits tonight, they've got 5 of them. 2 of those have been infield hits. Cabrera's base hit to short, Ford's base hit to third. So the others were Ford's doubles to left and right, and then the home run by Lyons. Otherwise, there haven't been really many hard hit baseballs. I think Washington's fly ball to center field, really the only other that was hit well. And that's been the story tonight, is Russell just really making it tough for these Ducks hitters.
Here's Miles Williams, and he takes inside. Again, the Ducks are 4-0 at home in the playoffs, 1-4 on the road. So they are hoping that trend continues, and the home team has won every game of this series. They would like that to continue as well, but right now they trail by 3 in the 7th. After ball 1, it's ball 2, missing away from Russell. And Williams up 2-0. He has struck out and hit a little roller out in front of the plate and had Norris, the catcher, gun him down.
Good eye by Williams on those 2 pitches. He's got to make sure that if Russell tries to get him to chase those breaking balls down and in, that he's able to hold off.
2-0. Got the outside corner that time. Boy, didn't look much different location-wise than the pitch in front of it, but it's called a strike. And Russell at 2-1.
And close. Russell tried to paint the corner there, just got it in there about knee level.
2-1. He got a good hack at it, but couldn't connect. It's even now at 2-2 on Miles Williams. Crowd trying to urge him on. Quackerjack doing his garbage can routine atop the first base dugout. One says let's, one says go, and a fan has the third one that says Ducks. This is a little worm burner foul down the left field line, and the count holds.
Russell's really been controlling this bottom of the order from Washington down through Lyons. Just 1 hit thus far, and a total of 12 at-bats for the bottom 5 in the Ducks order.
88 now, the pitch count for the left-hander. You can hear the Let's Go Ducks chant picking up in the background. The 2-2 again, and a swing and a miss. He struck him out. 5 Ks for Russell, 2 away.
Of those 5 Ks, all of them have been swinging, and for Miles Williams, his 14th strikeout now of this postseason. It's been tough sledding for Williams, especially here in this Atlantic League Championship Series. And against a very good pitcher like Russell, just could not make contact except for that foul ball down the third base line. And Russell battles back from 2-0 down to get the strikeout.
Well, let's see if the veteran Cody Puckett can get it going for Long Island. So far tonight, a fly to left, a fly to center. He's 0 for 2. First pitch to him. Breaking ball, he waited on it, but tapped it foul left side for strike 1. Cody hitting .385 with all those games in the championship series. He had a game 1 homer down in Texas, and he had a 3-hit game here last night. So he has done a nice job in place of Taylor Ard, as Michael has talked about, who's gone home to welcome their first child into the family. And Cody has seized the opportunity, getting back to the hot corner and heating up at the dish as he fouls this one right back. He was on it but under it, 0-2.
Got to give credit to Cody Puckett. It's obviously been a very tough year for him overall. Coming back after the ruptured patellar tendon last year to try and come back and play. He had to make this team in spring training. Did earn the spot. He was healthy at the beginning of the year and really has stayed healthy during the entire season. Certainly something you have to admire from Puckett.
Here's Russell's 0-2, and that misses in tight at the shins for ball 1.
Obviously did not put up the numbers he wanted to offensively. He admitted during the year that his knee was never going to be as strong as it was before the injury, but never used it as an excuse. He knew he had to step up big, and he's played very well in this series. You have to give him credit.
1-2 to him is pop foul behind the plate, and the guy on deck, Dan Lyons, certainly had a tough year offensively as well, Michael, and you wonder, will he be back for what would be a 9th season with the Long Island Ducks?
I know I have a strong feeling he's going to want to continue to keep playing. He just loves this game so much. And similarly, Kevin Baez just loves the way he plays the game. He knows he's struggled offensively, but can still come up with a lot of clutch hits, and he plays very good defense at shortstop.
Yeah, that is respect from one former shortstop in Baez to a current shortstop in Lyons, as Russell's in tight again. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's exactly right. He knows how tough the position and he knows how tough it is to find a player to play that position that is very good defensively and covers as much ground as Lyons does.
The 2-2 to Puckett is in the air to right, and a couple of steps in for Tony Thomas. And for the 3rd time tonight, James Russell retires the Ducks in order. 7 complete in Central Islip. It's Game 5 of the 2018 Atlantic League Championship Series, and Sugar Land continues to hold a 4-1 lead over Long Island.
Hey fans, this is infielder David Washington, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
We asked people across Long Island, what does energy efficiency mean to you?
Energy efficiency? It means finding ways to save a few dollars on my electric bill each month.
PSEG Long Island is introducing smart technologies that let you control just how much energy you use.
To me, it really is important to keep Long Island green so future generations can enjoy our island's beauty.
And we're partnering on renewable sources that will keep Long Island sustainable for generations. Discover all of our energy efficiency programs at psegLINY.com/efficiency.
Take your group out to the ball game this season and enjoy all the fun of Ducks baseball at discounted prices with the picnic area, luxury suites, the Smokin' Owl's party deck, and so much more. Bringing your group to the game will be an unforgettable experience. The Ducks even offer opportunities to sing the national anthem, serve as the Ridgewood Savings Bank color guard, be the Nicolak Dream Team, put on a pregame performance, or shag fly balls during Ducks batting practice. To book your outing today, call 631-940-3825 and ask for the group sales department. Long Island Ducks Baseball. Good times every time.
Well, we go to inning number 8. It's getting late for Long Island, and Kevin Baez brings in his 4th pitcher of the night. It's the right-hander Carlos Pimentel. He replaces the lefty Asher Tolliver, who was the only Ducks pitcher tonight to retire Sugarland in order as he worked the 7th. 1-2-3, so he goes 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. For Pimentel, it is his 4th appearance of this championship series. And he also pitched in 2 games in the Liberty Division Championship Series. In this series, he pitched in Game 1. He got the win in Game 3, also pitched last night. And I asked Kevin Baez if he was concerned, Michael, the fact that he would have to use Pimentel for a 3rd straight night and Abad for a 3rd straight night. He said yes, as you would expect. But Pimentel here in Game 3 to 18 pitches. Last night threw only 10. So it's only 28 pitches over the last 2 outings. Abad only needed 5 pitches on Friday night and 14 last night. So, again, the pitch count for those relievers is down a little bit. And he said, look, there's no tomorrow, so it's a 3rd straight outing. He understands it. He's got to live with it. These are the guys he wants pitching the 8th and the 9th here tonight.
Yeah, ultimately it's the last game of the year. You can't hold anything back. It's all hands on deck at this point. And obviously trailing 4-1, the key. The only chance the Ducks have to come back in this game is that they keep the score where it is. If they start seeing the Skeeters widen this gap further, it's going to be very, very tough for Long Island to make a comeback. So ultimately he's going to go with his best relievers that he has available. He talked about Rodriguez continuing to deal with the soreness, so unavailable again.
Yep.
So that means it's Pimentel for the 8th and Abad for the 9th to try and keep this right here at 3 runs to give the offense a chance over their final 2 innings.
Well, in the booth, we go to our closer, Michael Pollack.
Thanks so much, Chris King. 8th inning, Carlos Pimentel's first pitch on the way to Javier Betancourt. That drops in for a strike, and the count 0-1. So this is the opportunity here for the Ducks to try and will their way back one more time. They've had so many comebacks this year. They have to try and do it again here over these final 2 innings. But first, Pimentel's job is to keep the Skeeters at bay offensively. Betancourt, meanwhile, has been on base all 3 times in this game, and here takes a breaking ball that just misses to even the count at 1-1. Betancourt had a single to left field back in the 2nd inning. He drew a walk in the 4th, then led off the 6th inning with a double before coming home in the RBI single by Barrett Barnes. Right-hander comes set on the hill, and the 1-1 is swung and hit on the ground, foul down the 3rd baseline for strike 2.
Again, Pimentel's 6th appearance overall, 4th in the championship series after 2 in the Liberty Division series. In those 5 outings, a 1-0 record of 4.50 earned run average. 6 innings of work. He's allowed only 3 base hits. He's walked 2 and struck out 5 opponents, hitting 143 against him in playoff baseball.
That only outing he struggled in the playoffs, Game 3 of the Liberty Division Championship Series in Bridgewater, New Jersey against the Patriots. 1-2, popped up foul, first base side, and the big reason why they ended up struggling was because of, or Pimentel's struggle was because of the walks. He allowed 2 walks in that inning, including a 2-out walk that set the stage for Andy Chavez to deliver that bases-clearing 3-run double, which was probably the biggest hit of the year for the Somerset Patriots, and had they gone on, it would have been one of their biggest in history, but of course, the Ducks dispatched him in the first round. 1-2, Betancourt a ground ball to 3rd, diving try on the backhand by Puckett, but it ends up going off his glove and carrying in a shallow left, and Betancourt's got his 3rd hit of the night. He's been on base all 4 times.
What an incredible job by Javier Betancourt. His first start of the postseason, and he has made the most of it in that 9-hole for Pete Incaviglia. So Cody would not have had a play on Betancourt, even if he came up with it. It was hit so hard. And the leadoff man aboard for Sugarland, trying to add to a 3-run advantage here in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, it certainly would have been tough there for Puckett to make that play, but ultimately, again, it's not a routine play, having to dive to your right to try and make that stop. Ball was hit hard. So back to the top of the order we go for Barrett Barnes. First pitch, Barnes swings, pops this one up in the air to shallow right. Jordani Valdespin out onto the outfield grass. And the Ducks' second baseman makes the call and the catch for the first out here in the 8th inning.
So again, Pimentel for a 3rd straight night in the 8th inning, and we certainly expect Fernando Abad for a 3rd straight night in the 9th, as Kevin Baez is going to put his best out there and hope the home team can rally.
Meanwhile, I'll ask you, you're Pete Incaviglia, what do you do? James Russell, 7 innings of 1-run ball. He's at 95 pitches right now. Do you send him back out there for the bottom of the 8th, or do you turn it over to your bullpen for the final 6 outs?
I think I put him out, Michael, and if he has any trouble at all, any base runner at all, then he's done. 3-run game, so again, 1 base runner can't hurt you.
Fair enough. Here is Ginsanti, and Pimentel misses with a fastball outside for ball 1. Anthony Ginsanti has been kept quiet tonight. He is 0 for 4, a ground out, and 3 outs in the air for Ginsanti. He is the only Skeeter in this game that has not reached base. He and Norris, the only 2 without hits. Norris has walked twice. 1-0. And Pimentel missing down and away here for ball 2. Been in a great year for Ginsanti as well. Wasn't an all-star, but hit .295 during the regular season. He's 13 for now 42 in the playoffs. Average down to .310, but really had been hitting the ball well here this postseason. 2-0. And Pimentel misses again. 3 straight out of the zone to Ginsanti, and another out of the zone puts 2 aboard with 1 out for Norris.
And Ginsanti was the leading hitter in the Atlantic League after the opening round of the playoffs. Hit .476, including a bottom of the 9th homer in Game 5 against Lancaster, where they rallied from 3 down to tie it.
Here comes Pimentel's 3-0 delivery. Fastball here, and it just missed the outside corner. Carlos Pimentel thought he had strike 1, but does not get the call from home plate umpire Tim Rosso. So an infield single and a walk here in this 8th inning, and Sugarland threatening once again against the Ducks pitching staff.
So a little meeting here as Navarro comes out to chat with Pimentel. Our home plate umpire Tim Rosso gives us the safe sign, indicating that it's not one of the 3 charged timeouts you're allowed in Atlantic League play. The Ducks have used only 1 when Brownell visited Fisher in the 5th.
So Sugarland has runners at first and second with 1 out here in the 8th inning. Derek Norris to the plate, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts on the night for the veteran Major League catcher. His first season here with the Skeeters. Pimentel looks to second, deals to the plate. Norris takes a fastball that catches the inside corner for strike 1. And obviously this is a critical point of the ball game. You're trailing by 3 runs are the Ducks. Cannot afford to fall behind any further if you want to have any comeback attempt here in Game 5. Carlos Pimentel's going to have to find a way to keep the Skeeters off of the run column. 0-1. Right-hander deals. Norris takes down and away. Good block at home plate by Navarro to keep it in front of him, evening the count at 1-1.
Hey, look at how different this game could be, Michael. The Skeeters were able to get home the 10 men they've left on base through the first 6 innings. Last inning was the only time tonight they didn't leave anybody on base. And in the hits department, they're out hitting Long Island now 12-5. So the Ducks are very lucky to be within 3. But to your point, Pimentel absolutely has to keep it at a 3-run game. If it goes much more, the Ducks with only 6 outs to play with, going to be too much of a hill to climb.
So it'll be a 1-ball-1-strike delivery. Pimentel looks to second, deals home. Norris takes off-speed upstairs for ball 2. As we talked about, the Skeeters, if they took advantage of some opportunities early in the game, this wouldn't be a ball game right now. If the Ducks took advantage of their opportunities early in Game 1, that one wouldn't have been a ball game, and the Ducks would have taken the first game of this series.
Ducks, of course, left 17 men on base in that 13-inning loss.
2-1. Norris drives it in the air foul to the first base side, going after the fastball down and away. And that will even up the count at 2-2. Pimentel would love to get a strikeout here for the second out, or possibly a ground ball at one of his infielders where they could try and turn 2. Norris does not run quickly. Juan Silverio, who has a pair of hits tonight, waiting in the on-deck circle for Sugarland. 2-2 from the righty. Pimentel looks to second, kicks, fires, breaking ball, line foul, back to the screen.
Love the Pimentel look, though. The socks pulled up high a la David Robertson, and just old school baseball for Carlos Pimentel. Rear back and let it go.
At this stage of the year, pitching for the third straight day, emptying the tank here on the final day of the year, regardless win or lose. Leading from second is Betancourt, leading from first, Jinsanti. 2-2 once again. Pimentel fires, Norris takes down in the dirt, that's blocked by Navarro. And now the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It was such a huge, huge pitch for the right-hander, Michael. If he walks him, the bases are loaded. If he gets a ground ball and the Ducks can turn 2, they could be in the dugout just as quickly. So maybe the biggest pitch of the game from either side coming next.
A walk loads the bases. Strikeout gives them the second out. Double play ends the inning. Runners lead. Payoff pitch from Pimentel, and now Norris asks for time. Big moments here as we get late in a Game 5, winner take all here in the Atlantic League Championship Series. Now Pimentel is set again. 3-2. Here's the kick and the pitch. Popped up in the air, shallow left. The shortstop, Dan Lyons, goes out onto the grass, settles under it, makes the catch. Infield fly rule was in effect, and that's the second out of the inning.
So Pimentel wins the batter with the 3-man. And now we'll try to do the same against the cleanup hitter in Juan Silverio.
Big out there for the Dominican native as the right-hander is able to retire Derek Norris for the second out. Norris is now 0 for 3 in the game with the 2 walks. And now it's Silverio, who has 2 hits and 4 at-bats, a single, a double. He has scored twice. Struck out his last time up, though. That was in the 6th inning when he went down swinging with 1 out against Matt Larkins. Righty here as Silverio digs in against Carlos Pimentel. First pitch on the way. Pimentel kicks and fires, and this one taken down in the dirt. Another good block by Navarro, who's having to do yeoman's work behind home plate, keeping many of these pitches from Pimentel out in front of him.
Yeah, such huge plays that kind of go unnoticed in the box score, Michael, but the difference between first and second and third is monumental. You're talking about 2 guys in the scoring position, and prior to that pop-out, no chance to turn a double play either if runners advance.
Just think about last night when Dallas Beeler threw 3 wild pitches in the first inning that led to 2 Ducks runs. Erased a 1-0 Skeeter lead. 1-0. Swinging a foul ball back behind the plate by Silverio. That'll even the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. 4-1 Sugarland leads, top of the 8th inning here in Game 5, and the Skeeters out hitting the Ducks 12-5.
Ducks in their half of the 8th will be at 9-1-2. Of course, Lyons, the 9-hitter, with the only run for the Ducks tonight, a solo homer to left in the 5th. Then they turn it over to Valdespine, Fields, and Ford at the top of the order.
Here comes the 1-1. Pimentel with the glove above his head, now set at the belt. Kicks, fires. Silverio grounds it foul, third base side. And now with a count of 1-2, Pimentel a strike 3 away from getting out of trouble here in the 8th inning.
I think we'll hear those thunder sticks get going a little bit. Now Quackerjack getting them to clap along atop the third base dugout. This crowd just waiting for something to explode about. They went crazy when Dan Lyons hit the solo homer in the bottom of the 5th, but that's been it offensively.
Nice crowd on hand here tonight. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fist pump from Carlos Pimentel, who strikes out Juan Silverio, and he is able to escape the first and second 1-out jam here in the 8th, keeping it a 3-run ball game. No runs in the inning for the Skeeters, 1 hit. There was a walk as well. Sugarland leaves their 11th and 12th men on base here in this game. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 4-1 Skeeters.
Hey fans, this is infielder Cody Puckett, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
Hey Ducks fans, the official hotel of the Long Island Ducks is the Radisson Hotel, Hauppauge, Long Island. It's centrally located on the north shore of Long Island and offers a home away from home for both business and leisure guests. The Radisson Hotel, Hauppauge, Long Island features an indoor pool, 24-hour business center, a fitness center, and complimentary Wi-Fi in all guest rooms. Enjoy the contemporary American cuisine at the Fountain Grill restaurant or grab a quick bite to eat at Cafe Pronto. And best of all, it's only minutes away from Bethpage Ballpark. The Radisson Hotel, Hauppauge, Long Island, the official hotel of the Long Island Ducks. Call 631-231-1100 today. That's 631-231-1100. Bethpage Ballpark is a great place to watch a ball game, so why not do so from some of the best seats in the house? Long Island's hometown team invites you to check out the Long Island Ducks Beer Garden. Open for all fans on nights when the Smokin' Owl's party deck hasn't been reserved, the Beer Garden features a variety of the best brews, including popular fan favorites as well as local craft beer selections. The area has been decked out with bar rail seating and Ducks-branded furniture to provide a comfortable atmosphere for everyone. Be sure to stop by and enjoy the Long Island Ducks Beer Garden on your next visit to the ballpark.
Michael Pollock alongside Chris King here at Bethpage Ballpark in Central Islip, New York. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning here in Game 5 of the Atlantic League Championship Series. The series tied at 2 apiece. It is winner take all here tonight. Dan Lyons will step to the plate to lead things off for the Ducks as we go to the bottom half of this 8th inning. Ducks trailing by the count of 4-1. So the Skeeters 6 defensive outs away from their second championship in 3 seasons. James Russell back to the hill with 95 pitches on the night. And number 96 is a fastball strike over the outside corner, 0-1. Lyons has driven in the only run of the night for the Ducks with his 2-out solo home run to left back in inning number 5. Here's the 0-1. Lyons a ground ball foul up the third baseline. And the count quickly goes to 0-2. Certainly, as you get to this stage of the game, you start thinking about potential MVP candidates for this championship series. And obviously, in the biggest game of the season for the Skeeters, James Russell has put together an amazing performance tonight. Barrett Barnes has had a very good series as well for the Skeeters, but still a lot more baseball to be played here as Lyons smacks one past the diving try of Cordero. That's in a left field for a base hit. Good start to the 8th for the Long Island Ducks.
Well, again, the last time the Ducks played a championship Game 5 on this field, it was Dan Lyons, the hero, with a bunt single in the bottom of the 9th that brought home Matt Esquivel with a championship-winning run, and Lyons trying to do his part again as the Ducks get the leadoff man aboard, and just like that, the tying run in the on-deck circle.
Think about it, he really could have 3 hits tonight if not for that great catch and right by Tony Thomas back in the 3rd inning.
A diving grab as he had to lay his body out parallel to the ground to make the stab.
As I said before, something about Game 5 for Dan Lyons. So now it's Jordany Valdespin to the plate, who is 0 for 3 on the night. Russell's first pitch, Valdespin takes, and that misses low for ball 1. Valdespin, again, as we mentioned earlier, has reached base safely in every single game of this postseason. He has hit safely in 8 of them. He's had multiple hits in 5, but has popped out, grounded out, and flied out in his 3 at-bats. The Ducks fans are up and cheering here, trying to will this team back.
First time tonight, Ducks have had the leadoff man aboard, Michael. It takes 8 innings to get there.
Unbelievable. Russell has been that good. The 1-0 coming up here from the lefty to Jordany Valdespin. Lyons takes his lead off first. Kicking the pitch. Valdespin pops one up in the air to left field. Barrett Barnes settling under it. And he will make the catch for out number 1. So for the 4th time tonight, the Skeeters are able to retire Jordany Valdespin. And with 1 on and 1 out, that brings Daniel Fields to the plate.
Hey, just hope Fields can find a way aboard here because nobody's hotter in this game than the guy on deck, Lou Ford, 3 for 3 with a single and 2 doubles. And as Russell, again, pushes that pitch count further and further, you wonder if Lou will find a way to take him out of the yard.
So with 1 away, here is Daniel Fields to the plate, batting from the left side. Russell's first pitch, Fields a swing and a miss. Cuts through the offering for strike 1. Fields is 0 for 3. A strikeout, a line out, and a pop out. And now 10 for 40 here in the postseason. But he has 7 RBIs and 6 runs scored. Lyons leads off first. The 0-1 popped up. Third base side. Cordero over in a foul territory. Drifting back on it. It's going to land in foul territory. A break for the Ducks there, what should have been out number 2, but Albert Cordero could not come over the baseball.
Well, here's my question for you, Michael. I'll have you play Skeeters manager. If Fields reaches, does Russell face Ford, knowing that Lou took him out in Game 1 down in Sugar Land in the opening inning and has crushed him tonight 3 times, or do we see a righty reliever and Russell's night come to an end?
100% not. I think if Fields gets on, even if he doesn't get on, I think they make the change before Ford comes up. 0-2. Russell deals. Fields is swinging a ground ball to the right side. The second baseman, Betancourt, goes to second for one. That's all they'll get. 4-6 on the fielder's choice. They just do get it to second before Lyons slid in. So 4-6 out at second base is Lyons. And with a runner at first and 2 down, up to the plate will step Lou Ford.
Well, so far, no indication by Incaviglia yet. As Lou is announced, and we're keeping an eye on Inky to our left here. But I agree with you. I don't think I'd even let him face him here. Even though a home run would make it a one-run game, he is going to let Russell face Ford. I agree with you, Michael. I don't agree with this strategy.
First pitch coming up here from Russell to Ford. Breaking ball hits the outside corner for strike one. That was number 104 on the night from Russell. But Incaviglia knows what his lefty has done to this point and is sticking with him here to try and get through this 8th inning. Fields the runner at first with 2 men down. It'll be an 0-1 of Ford. Pitch popped up in the air, right center field. Drifting in and to his right is Tony Thomas. He is under it. He makes the catch, and Russell gets through the 8th unharmed. So Incaviglia sticks with Russell to face Ford and retires him on the pop-out. Leadoff single goes to waste. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We go to the 9th in Game 5. Skeeters lead 4-1.
Hey fans, this is pitcher John Brownell, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
Going way back is Joe Holden, and he is looking up, and that one is headed to field 5 at Robert Moses. The waves are gnarly, and the Ducks have tied it at 1. That was another home run for the Ducks. And Duck fans, what's more fun than a home run that helps the Ducks win a game? How about a homer that helps the community win? Chappie's Funeral Home and the Long Island Ducks have once again teamed up for the Chappie's Home Run Challenge. If the Ducks hit 100 homers this season, Chappie's Funeral Home will donate $5,000 to the Quackerjack Foundation. So every time a Ducks hitter goes deep this season, watch for the Chappie's Challenge home run count on the scoreboard. And if we reach 100, we're all a winner. Chappie's Funeral Home, where caring for others is a family tradition.
Can't get enough of the Long Island Ducks? Well, now you can get even more inside info on your favorite hometown team through Facebook and Twitter. The Ducks are constantly updating fans through social media with scores, transactions, ballpark promotions, and much more. You can even win great prizes. All you'll need to do is make a free account on Facebook and Twitter, and then visit us at facebook.com/LIDucks and twitter.com/LIDucks. Think you're Long Island's biggest Ducks fan? Get connected now.
Well, we go to inning number 9. The Ducks trail the Sugarland Skeeters by the score of 4-1, and Kevin Baez brings in his 4th reliever of the night. As expected, it's the left-hander Fernando Abad, who pitches for a 3rd straight game. But here on Friday night, he needed only 5 pitches to pick up the save, and then last night 14 pitches, so 19 pitches in the last 2 outings back-to-back for Abad, who also pitched in games 1 and 5 of the Liberty Division Championship Series. Of course, that clincher Game 5 is when he tossed 3 innings of no-hit, no-run ball with 4 strikeouts in the bottom of the 6th, 7th, and 8th against the Somerset Patriots. So his job, keep it where it is. 4-1 Skeeters as we go to the 9th. And Carlos Pimentel for Long Island worked 1 inning the 8th. So 1 inning of work, 1 hit, and allowed no runs, had a walk, and a strikeout.
So Fernando Abad will take over, trying to keep this a 3-run ball game. That is all he can do at this point, is try and keep it right where it is. Good job by Pimentel to get out of the trouble there in inning number 8, as he was able to work out of a 1st and 2nd 1-out jam. James Russell, 8 dominant innings tonight, allowing just 1 run. He has been absolutely magnificent. Can't take anything away from Russell, who has been fantastic not only in this postseason, but tonight. He obviously had the struggles in Game 1, but I think that such a big part of that, and the only reason really why the Skeeters won that first game, was his ability to get out of such big jams and keep it as close of a game as he did. And obviously tonight, his line speaks for itself. First pitch here, and I think that hit Chavez.
Yep.
Indeed it did. And so he will be aboard to begin this 9th inning.
Again, you go back to the opening game of this series, Tuesday night in Sugar Land, Texas. In the first inning, Lou Ford hit a 3-run homer off James Russell. Then Russell threw 5 shutout innings. So add in 8 one-run innings tonight, Michael. And in the last 13 innings of play against the Long Island Ducks, he's really gave up, again, just one bad pitch tonight, and that's the Dan Lyons homer. So you could make a case that he's only made 2 bad pitches in 2 games, one a Lou Ford homer, one a Dan Lyons homer, and that's it. So Russell has been dominant, and that's the reason the Skeeters lead 4-1 here. Their concern right now, though, is for their first baseman and 5-hitter Chavez after he took that first offering out of the left hand of Fernando Abad.
And certainly that is not going to feel good at all. Abad throws the ball very hard, and so certainly that's not going to feel great, especially coming in first pitch of the inning. You're not really expecting a fastball inside like that, but I think they're looking down at the left hand of Chavez. We'll see whether or not he is able to stay in this game. He has played a terrific series, terrific first base all year long for the Sugarland Skeeters. And the question is, will he be able to continue after taking that pitch from Abad, or will the Skeeters just go and try and bring somebody else in?
Yeah, it looks like Incaviglia is trying to talk him out of the game, and he's trying to talk himself into it. And let's see who's going to win the battle here. He clearly does not want to leave the field, but you have to be careful, even though it is the last game of the season for both of these teams. So Chavez will be replaced here as he gets a nice hand. Incaviglia wins that discussion, and taking his place over at first base is Alvaro Rondon, the pinch runner now for Sugarland.
So Alvaro Rondon is going to take over pinch running at first base for the injured Matt Chavez, who finishes his night 2 for 4 with an RBI and, of course, that hit by pitch. And we'll see what the Skeeters do defensively in the bottom half of this 9th inning. Again, they're 3 defensive outs away from their 2nd championship in team history. Both would be won on this field, both in the last 3 seasons.
And the crazy thing is, Mike, that other title is exactly 2 years ago tonight, September 30th, 2016.
So is it fate, or will that fate end up getting squashed away by a Ducks comeback in the bottom of the inning? First pitch here misses inside for ball 1 from Fernando Abad. Abad had not pitched multiple innings at all this year until he threw 3 innings of perfect relief in Game 5 of the Liberty Division Championship Series. A big part as to why the Ducks advanced to this point, as Cordero lifts a fly ball to left center field. Backing up on it now, Daniel Fields, and he will make the catch for out number 1. But now pitching for a 3rd consecutive day here at home. Closed out Game 3, closed out Game 4, and now trying to do the same here in Game 5.
Yeah, again, the big thing, though, Michael, closing out Game 3, he only threw 5 pitches that night to get the win here on Friday evening, so that kept his pitch count down, then tossed 14 last night. He's off to a good start here after a tough first pitch got Chavez. He gets Cordero on the can of corn to center.
So with 1 out and 1 on, here's Tony Thomas. He swings first pitch and knocks that foul into the dirt for strike 1. Thomas in this game 1 for 4. His only hit was a single to left field back in the 5th. Aside from that, he got struck out 3 times. Went down looking in the 2nd against Fisher, swinging in the 3rd against Fisher, and then looking in the 7th against Asher Tolliver. So it'll be at 0-1. Abad comes set, kicks and delivers. Fastball misses high. And that'll leave it up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Talking about how tough Abad was in that Game 5, Michael. That's pitching the bottom of the 6th, the bottom of the 7th, and the bottom of the 8th against the Patriots on their home field in a tie game. That, again, is the deciding game of the series. The Ducks, of course, would win it in 10, but he did an incredible job.
Breaking ball here misses downstairs. That'll move the count to 2-1 on Thomas.
And wasn't it K-Rod who got around a double in the 9th inning as well?
Correct. He gave up a leadoff double to Ramon Flores there in Game 5 and somehow got out of that jam. One of those things that somewhat goes overlooked in that comeback win. Well, they really didn't trail. They trailed at one point 2-1, but again, they needed that run in extra innings after the Patriots had tied the ball game. But a 2-out rally there in the 10th against a very tough righty in Logan Kensing, as Ramon Cabrera's bloop single to right center gave the Ducks the lead and eventually the win. Skeeters leading 4-1. It's a 2-1 pitch from Abad here to Thomas. Runner goes. This one's hit on the ground to short. Backhanded by Lyons. His only play is going to be to first, and that's made in time. So Rondon going potentially stays out of the double play. Lyons is able to retire Thomas at first. To second goes Rondon. And with a runner at second and 2 away, that'll leave it up to the designated hitter, Dennis Phipps.
Great play by Lyons, Michael, because he lost his footing as he went to throw it. but still got enough zip on it to get it over to the 6'5" first baseman, David Washington, who's able to use that size and put it away.
So 2 away here in the inning. Now I don't know what's going on here. Kevin Baez is upset, yelling towards the first base umpire, Ryan Benson. Thomas is still at the plate. Did they call a balk? I think they called a balk here on Fernando Abad because Rondon is at second base and Thomas is still at the plate.
You're right. It's the only thing it could be because Thomas gets new life here. And Rondon down at second. And now home plate umpire Tim Rosso is getting into it with Kevin Baez, who wants him to ask for help from the other members of his crew. And I think he's unwilling to do that. And that's what has KB so upset.
So the at-bat will continue here as a balk is called on Fernando Abad. As the runner moves to second base, the count, I believe, is still 2-1.
Very unusual.
Quite the bizarre scenario there. Thomas is still at the plate here with a count of 2-1. Abad comes set. Kicking the pitch. Thomas drives one in the air to left. It's hit well down the line. Will this stay fair? It will not.
Wow.
Just to the left of the pole. Juan Silverio, the shortstop for the Skeeters, was basically out of the dugout in the third base coach's box trying to will that ball fair. But instead it's a foul ball, and the count 2-2.
It's such a tough call for the umpires, that imaginary line that extends up above the top of the foul pole to infinity. And you're trying to judge whether it went inside or outside of it, and they said outside, a big break for Long Island.
Now it'll be a 2-2 delivery. Here's the pitch. Fastball is on the outside corner, strike 3 call. So ultimately the result is pretty much the same. A strikeout, Thomas is retired. Rondon remains at second. And with 2 outs, that will bring to the plate Dennis Phipps.
Now for the Ducks, if you're looking ahead to the last of the ninth, 4, 5, and 6. Cabrera, Washington, and Navarro. Kevin Baez on his bench has lefty hitting Ruby Silva, righting hitter Steve Longo, and switch hitting Roberto Garcia if he chose to go that route.
So we'll see what the Ducks end up doing as they go to the bottom of the ninth. First pitch here, though, is low. And that is ball 1 at Dennis Phipps, who tonight is 1 for 4. His lone hit, the opposite field solo home run to right back in the second. That gave the Skeeters an early 1-0 lead. Again, lots of time still for the Ducks to come back in the bottom half of the ninth inning. But first, Abad has to keep it here as he gets Phipps to swing and miss at a breaking ball down and away. 1-1 now on the Sugarland designated hitter. Ducks trailed 2-0 at one point in this series, came back to tie it. Skeeters trying to avoid a complete comeback from the Ducks. 1-1. Fouled off first base side, runs the count to 1-2. Meanwhile, the Ducks trying to become the third team in history, one of them being themselves, to come back from 2-0 down and win a playoff series.
Ducks did it in the Liberty Division Championship Series against Somerset 2 years ago. Patriots did it in the finals against Newark in 2001.
That was after Somerset had lost 8 consecutive games in the Atlantic League Championship Series, just like the Ducks had done.
Incredible.
Coming into Game 3.
Yeah, just incredible.
It almost seemed like all those stars were aligning, and they still very well could. It's going to take a Ducks comeback to happen. 1-2. Abad kicks and deals. Popped up to left center field here by Phipps. Ford and Fields converging. It'll be Fields making the call and the catch. And Abad is able to work through the ninth without any damage. No runs, no hits. A hit batter, 1 left in scoring position. The 13th man left on tonight for Sugarland. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Ducks need a rally for any chance at winning a championship. They trail 4-1.
Hey fans, this is pitcher Jake Fisher, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network. Go Ducks.
Oh, I love it. The color of my new Nicolat patio is so vibrant. It's unlike anything I've ever seen.
You're welcome. I'm just going to go finish that Nicolak walkway now.
Make your pavers vivid Nicolak pavers. The best looking, most vibrant pavers with the most 3-color blends in the industry. Featuring Nicolak's exclusive paver shield and color blending technology. With color throughout and guaranteed not to fade. Live life in color with Nicolak. Visit Nicolak.com.
Hey Ducks fans, stay up to date with Long Island's hometown team by visiting Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks. Quack of the Bat will bring Ducks fans beyond the headlines with in-depth feature articles, breaking news stories, game previews, and so much more. Interact with the team during the entire season through quotes directly from the players and coaches, as well as exclusive video clips and photos. Check out the blog today at quackofthebat.wordpress.com. Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks.
Well, last licks for the Long Island Ducks. We head to the bottom of the ninth. They trailed the Sugarland Skeeters 4-1. During the course of the regular season, Long Island had 9 waddle-off wins in their final at-bat. And, of course, back on July 11th, the Ducks in the Liberty Division walked off with an all-star game victory in the bottom of the ninth as well. The big story for Sugarland, though, their starting left-hander James Russell will take the hill to try to toss a complete game in this deciding Game 5 of the 2018 Atlantic League Championship Series. Russell has been magnificent, giving up only a Dan Lyons solo homer in the last of the 5th. And it'll start with Ramon Cabrera for Long Island.
Just incredible, but he's getting this opportunity to close out this game that he started and has pitched so brilliantly in to try and will the Skeeters to the championship. First pitch, Cabrera takes on the bottom of the strike zone for strike 1. Skeeters 3 defensive outs away from their second championship in team history. And the fans here tonight trying to make as much noise as possible to give the Ducks an opportunity to come back. 0-1. Cabrera takes down and away on a breaking ball to even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
So Cabrera, Washington, Navarro, 4, 5, 6 is where the Ducks are in their order.
Combined 1 for 9 tonight.
Yeah, but you just love to see somebody on base for David Washington on deck. It changed the complexion of the game in a hurry.
1-1. On the outside corner, fastball hits for strike 2. Tough pitch, but just pinning the corner was Russell. And Cabrera behind in the count. He had the only hit among those 3 hitters. The infield single is short back in the 4th.
Now Russell had 108 pitches right now.
The 1-2 from the lefty. Kicks and fires. Cabrera, a ground ball at the third base line. Fair ball. It is down the line, a base hit for Cabrera. He'll round first, go for second. Here comes the throw in, and he is safe.
Oh. Did he take
play.
A chance, Michael?
Close play at second base. Obviously a big risk. And now it looks like Cabrera might be hurt. Ducks trainer Dottie Pitchford coming out from the dugout. And Kevin Bias coming to check on him as well. I thought something might have occurred there. He's grabbing at the back of his left leg, like he might have injured his hamstring.
Yeah, I agree with you, Michael. And I don't know that was the smartest play. The Ducks down 3 here, need base runners. They don't need him gunned out at second base, but give him credit. He legged it out, made it a 2-bagger, put a runner in scoring position. But I think the Ducks are going to lose a player in the 9th inning here, much like the Skeeters did when Chavez was hit by a pitch.
I didn't hear if you did. Did you happen to see? It looks like Rondon is out playing shortstop, and now it looks like Cordero is at first base. So I think Cordero moved from third base to first base. Silverio looked like moved from shortstop to third, and now Rondon is playing short. Those are the defensive changes we had here. So a good start for the Ducks in terms of getting base runners. Ramon Cabrera with the double down the left field line. He comes out due to injury. Robert Garcia is now running. First pitch from Russell to Washington. Here it is. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball for strike 1. Washington is 0 for 3 tonight. A fly out to the warning track in center field and a pair of strikeouts swinging. Russell comes set. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a high pop-up in the air, right side of the infield. Cordero settling under it. Now the second baseman Betancourt making the call, and he just makes the catch. Almost lost it, but somehow snares it, and Washington retired for out number 1.
And I have a feeling that is going to be it for James Russell, as his manager, Pete Incaviglia, the former Atlantic League champion with the Nashua Pride back in 2000, and the gentleman who hit the very first home run in this ballpark, opening night, April 28, 2000, will hold a meeting on the hill and take the temperature of his left-hander, with 4 righties due next for Long Island.
I almost think at this stage of the game you have to stick with him. I think he's made the decision here going into the inning that he's going to stick with him, and it looks like he indeed will. Why not? It's Russell's game. He's pitched an incredible game to this point. Why not stick with him?
Ducks, though, a base hit away from bringing the tying run to home plate. And again, 9 waddle-off wins in the regular season. None of those against Sugar Land, though.
So, up to the plate will step Navarro, who tonight is 0 for 3, a fly out and 2 groundouts. First pitch from Russell. Navarro, a fly ball, center field. In and to his right, Anthony Ginsanti. He'll make the call, he'll make the catch. There is out number 2, and the Sugar Land Skeeters are 1 out away from becoming the 2018 Atlantic League champions. So James Russell is 1 out away from a complete game win here in Game 5, winner-take-all of this Atlantic League Championship Series. A dominant performance on the mound tonight, and 1 out away from polishing it off with a win. Miles Williams, the hitter. First pitch, outside, ball 1. As you mentioned, Chris, the Ducks want to get 1 more on and bring the tying run to home plate. Sugar Land has led throughout since taking the lead in the top of the 2nd inning. The only run for the Ducks, a Dan Lyons solo home run in the 5th. Russell gets the sign and comes set. 1-0. Williams, a foul ball back to the screen behind home plate, and that will even the count at 1-1.
Now, Michael, we are a long way from Sugar Land, Texas, but there are Skeeter fans here. As we look behind the visitors' dugout on the third base side, a couple of them in their blue uniform tops. They've got the phones out. They're trying to film this video of what they hope is the final out of a 2nd championship in as many years for Sugar Land.
Won it in 2016 on this field, on this date. Trying to do the same here now 2 years later. 1-1. Williams takes up and inside under the hands from Russell for ball 2. Just have to think with this performance by Russell tonight and what he did in Game 1 to keep the game as close as it did, his name will certainly be in the consideration for Championship Series MVP. 2-1. Williams takes upstairs, and now it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count, and another out of the zone would put 2 on with 2 out for Cody Puckett.
And Cody, again, a Game 1 homer down in Texas, in which the Skeeters took that in 13 innings, so it gets a little dicier here for Russell to try to get that ever-elusive last out.
See if Williams takes all the way, the 3-1. Swung on and grounded to the right side. There is the second baseman, Betancourt. Throw to first is in time for the out, and the Sugar Land Skeeters have won the 2018 Atlantic League Championship. They defeat the Long Island Ducks 4-1 here in Game 5, and they win the series 3-2.
Well, congratulations to rookie skipper Pete Incaviglia and the Sugar Land Skeeters. As the dugout is emptied, now the bullpen will follow suit. And Michael, Bethpage Ballpark is their field of dreams. As you mentioned, 2 years ago tonight, in their 5th anniversary season, they swept the Ducks, won Game 3 here to raise their first trophy. And this time, for the first time in the series, the visiting team has won a game. The Ducks suffer their first home playoff loss of the year, and it means that the Skeeters will take the trophy back to Texas.
A sea of royal blue out on the infield here at Bethpage Ballpark. A Sugar Land Skeeters team who won the first half Freedom Division Championship, the second half Freedom Division Championship. They won a thrilling 5-game Freedom Division Championship series with the Barnstormers to claim their 3rd Freedom Division title. And now they earn their 2nd ever Atlantic League Championship to complete the foursome here in 2018. Congratulations to the Sugar Land Skeeters, absolutely deserving of this championship. And to the Ducks, you have to be incredibly proud of this season that they have had. It obviously ends with a 3rd consecutive championship series defeat, but ultimately to come back from 2-0 down to get to this point and nearly have a chance to win it on your home field, give them credit for the adversity they dealt with to get here. Unfortunately, it comes up 1 win short for the Flock.
Yeah, for the Ducks, the 4th time in franchise history now, Michael, they have lost a championship series. Of course, their wins 3 times in 2004, in 2012, and in 2013, but they've now lost twice in the finals to the York Revolution and twice in the finals to the Sugarland Skeeters. So the Skeeters continue to celebrate. In just a moment, we will hear from the president of the Atlantic League, Rick White, as he is out there now to make his way and say a few words. Also, the MVP will be awarded, and Michael and I really feel it's come down to Barrett Barnes, who had 9 hits in the series, or certainly James Russell, who was able to throw the complete game, 1-run effort tonight, allowing only 7 base hits. I think he has to be the favorite tonight. What an effort by James Russell, the 32-year-old lefty out of Texas, in his first year with Sugarland. Again, a veteran of almost 400 games of Major League experience with the Chicago Cubs, the Atlanta Braves, and the Philadelphia Phillies. So the Skeeters, I have a feeling, are going to pose for that traditional picture. In just a moment, the Atlantic League trophy will be presented, and again, we will hear from Rick White, the president of the Atlantic League, and he will announce the All-Star Game MVP here tonight on Long Island, where the Ducks fall by the final score of 4-1. All single runs the entire game for the Skeeters, single runs in the 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 6th. The only run tonight for Long Island in their half of the 5th on a solo homer by Dan Lyons. So if you're making the case for James Russell to be Atlantic League Championship Series MVP, in Game 1, he made 1 bad pitch. Lou Ford hit it for a 3-run homer. Tonight he made 1 bad pitch. Dan Lyons snuck it over the wall in left. And I think he is just about a lock for MVP, as the Skeeters will continue the celebration. A couple of their fans as well behind the third base dugout. And in just a moment, the official presentation of the trophy that Long Island was hoping to keep here at home. Their last win on home turf was back in 2012 on that legendary Dan Lyons bunt in the bottom of the 9th that brought home Matt Esquivel with the championship-winning run. So tough way for it to go for Long Island. 3 straight years in the finals, 3 straight losses. Last 2 years, though, swept by Sugarland 2 years ago, swept by the Revs last year. This year, we're pretty much given up for dead when they came home down 0-2 off a 10-0 loss. But as Michael told you, resiliency. A big David Washington homer in the bottom of the 8th on Game 3 of Friday night. Gave him a 3-2 victory. Last night, they scored 6 runs in the first 3 innings to run away with it. 6-3 was the final. And tonight, in a battle of ace southpaws, James Russell was simply better than Jake Fisher.
Yeah, there's really no other way to describe it. As we talked about at the top of the broadcast, both teams had the exact pitcher that they wanted on the mound to pitch in this championship series. Jake Fisher had dominated this Skeeters team all year long. Give credit to Sugarland because they made the adjustment that they needed to make, stayed much more patient against him, worked his pitch count up throughout the course of this ball game, and then ultimately knocked him out after just 5 innings. Meanwhile, James Russell, who was on the ropes throughout the course of Game 1, kept the Ducks off the scoreboard after that first inning, and then really dominated them here tonight.
Now to Atlantic League President Rick White, the Atlantic League Trophy presentation and the naming of the Atlantic League Championship Series Most Valuable Player.
Thank you very much, everyone. Before we present the hardware to the Sugarland Skeeters, I'd like to take a moment to congratulate Kevin Baez and the entire Long Island Ducks crew for a fabulous season, Liberty Division Championship, and a great comeback in this series. That said, let's turn our attention to the new Atlantic League champion, Sugarland Skeeters. First off, it's my pleasure to congratulate the most valuable player in the championship series. 1 complete game victory, 15 innings, a 4-hit ball, less than a 3 ERA, pitcher James Russell. Congratulations.
His teammates chanting MVP, nice touch.
He absolutely deserved it, Chris. Just an incredible job to keep the Skeeters in Game 1 and a masterful performance here tonight, going the distance to bring the Skeeters the championship.
It's my honor to not only present the Skeeters team, but the owners and the president and the manager of the Skeeters the championship trophy. To Bob and Kevin Slotnick, President Jay Miller, and manager Pete Padilla, Congratulations.
And Michael, what a job by a first-year skipper in Pete Incaviglia after Gary Gaetti, the Houston native, was their manager for the first 6 years. It was Gaetti who raised the trophy here 2 years ago tonight, but now Inky and his guys will do the same.
Just an incredible job by Pete Incaviglia. You have to think he is the lead candidate for Atlantic League Manager of the Year. Even though the postseason is not involved with that, what he did in the regular season, 81-win team in the regular season, first half and second half Freedom Division champions. They were far and away the best team in the Atlantic League this year. It has not been frequent that we have seen the team who leads the Atlantic League in terms of overall winning percentage during the regular season end up winning the title, but the Skeeters certainly have a fitting end to what was a magical season, and now for the second time in 3 years on this field, they end up going home Atlantic League champions.
And let's remember, Michael, in the deciding game of the Freedom Division Championship Series at home against Lancaster, they were down 5-2 in the bottom of the 9th inning, rallied to score 3 times to tie it. We're down 6-5 in the bottom of the 10th inning and rallied to win the game, or else they don't even make it to this series here tonight. There's the banner, there's the trophy. What resiliency facing that incredible adversity against a great Barnstormer team. 2 amazing bottom of the 9th, bottom of the 10th rallies, and then the Tony Thomas walk-off grand slam got him here. And despite taking a 2-0 lead to Long Island and falling 3-2 here Friday, 6-3 last night, they put it behind them. And tonight they will celebrate now, heading toward that visitors clubhouse here where they had a great party 2 years ago on this very same evening.
Every team that wins a championship needs a few things to go their way, and they need the big hits, the big timely clutch hits at the right times, and you've got to give so much credit to the Skeeters. They were trailing 2-1 in that series to the Barnstormers, needed a win in Game 4 to stay alive. They did that, trailing by 3 runs in the 9th inning in Game 5, and they somehow find a way to come back, win that series, and get to this point, and they could have easily folded here after taking a 2-0 lead and seeing the Ducks come back and win back-to-back games here to even up the series. But again, it was all about the dominant performance from James Russell tonight. Very deserved Most Valuable Player trophy, and ultimately the Skeeters go home with the hardware, a very deserved championship here in 2018. So we're going to take a break here from Bethpage Ballpark. Post-game shows coming up next. We'll recap this game, hand out Player of the Game honors, and just finalize this 2018 season for the Long Island Ducks.
Hey fans, this is pitcher Asher Tolliver, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
Hey Ducks fans, stay up to date with Long Island's hometown team by visiting Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks. Quack of the Bat will bring Ducks fans beyond the headlines with in-depth feature articles, breaking news stories, game previews, and so much more. Interact with the team during the entire season through quotes directly from the players and coaches, as well as exclusive video clips and photos. Check out the blog today at quackofthebat.wordpress.com. Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks.
This season, build new memories.
Beautiful evening for baseball.
This season, witness the action.
He reaches up, it's gone!
This season, celebrate an all-star summer.
The Ducks have won it 7-1.
Gather your friends and family for an entertainment experience like no other. The Ducks 2018 schedule is full of new promotions, and with free parking and tickets starting at just $12, there's no better value on Long Island. Get tickets to an all-star summer at liducks.com.
Chris King and Michael Pollock back to Bethpage Ballpark in Central Islip, New York, where tonight in Game 5 of the 2018 Atlantic League Championship Series, the Sugarland Skeeters defeated the Long Island Ducks by the final score of 4-1 in their 7th anniversary season. They will raise the trophy for the second time in club history, again doing it 2 years ago tonight on this field in the 5th anniversary season. That time it was a sweep of the Ducks. This time it went all the way to the deciding game before the Skeeters took home the hardware. Well, again, Sugarland won the first 2 games down in Texas, Tuesday and Wednesday, 5-4 in 13 innings in Game 1, 10-0 on Wednesday night in Game 2. But the Ducks came home and had a dramatic Bottom of the 8th, 2-run homer from David Washington to win Game 3 Friday night, 3-2. Last night ran out to a 6-1 lead after 3 innings behind Dennis O'Grady's right arm, who was terrific, and they won it 6-3, setting us up for this deciding Game 5. And both teams had their ace on the hill tonight, both left-handers, Jake Fisher for Long Island and James Russell for Sugarland. Skeeters struck first in the top of the 2nd inning as Dennis Phipps hit his first home run of the season. The righty slugger went the other way down the right field line, snuck it inside the pole, and Sugarland had the 1-0 advantage. They would make it 2-0 in the top of the 3rd when Albert Cordero singled to left, bringing home Juan Silverio, and it was 2-0 Skeeters after 3 innings of play. Sugarland added to that lead off Jake Fisher in the 5th inning as Juan Silverio led off with a double. Matt Chavez would single to left to bring him home, and the Skeeters had themselves the 3-0 lead at the midpoint of the contest. The Ducks would get what proved to be their only run of the night in the bottom of the 5th inning as Dan Lyons, with 2 out and nobody on, hit a homer to left, his first of the playoffs, off James Russell, and Long Island was within 2. Jake Fisher did depart after 5 innings of 9 hit, 3-run ball. He walked 2 and struck out 6. Ducks would bring in Matt Larkins for the 2nd time in relief in the playoffs, and he would allow a single run to Sugarland as they got it right back in the top of the 6th inning on a single up the middle by Barrett Barnes that brought home Javier Betancourt, who had led off the inning with a double, and the Sugarland lead was restored to 3 runs at 4-1. There would be no further scoring as the Ducks would use Larkins, Tolliver, Pimentel, and Abad, 1 inning apiece the rest of the way. But James Russell would be the story of this game. Again, the 32-year-old left-hander, born in Cincinnati, now calls Colleyville, Texas, his home. The son of the former Texas Ranger, right-handed pitcher, Jeff Russell, a 2-time Major League All-Star, threw a complete game victory tonight to go to 2-0 in the postseason. 9 innings of 7 hit, 1-run ball, no walks, 5 strikeouts. And for his effort here tonight and his Game 1 effort, in which, again, he allowed a 3-run homer to Lou Ford in the opening inning Tuesday night down in Texas, and then nothing to the Ducks the rest of the way. You could make the case that he made 2 bad pitches in his 2 outings, and that was it. He was awarded the Atlantic League Championship Series Most Valuable Player trophy here tonight. Final numbers for Sugarland: 4 runs, 12 hits, no errors. They left 13 men on base. For the Ducks, 1 run, 7 hits, 1 error. They stranded 6. Russell the winner, he's 2-0. Fisher the loser, he's 1-1. The game played in exactly 3 hours before a crowd of 3,541. Skeeters again win their 2nd championship, the other here in 2016. Ducks have now won 3 titles, but have lost the championship series 4 times now in their history, twice to the York Revolution, and now twice to the Sugarland Skeeters. Again, the final tonight, the Skeeters over the Ducks, 4-1. We'll take one more break, and when we come back, we'll run you through the out-of-town scoreboard. Michael and I will give you some final thoughts on this 2018 season for the Long Island Ducks, and we'll preview what next year holds for the Flock. It's all next.
Hey, fam, this is Jordani Valdez, second baseman, and you're listening to Duck Baseball on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network.
Sayville Ford, Long Island's Ford giant, has been family-owned and operated for over 60 years. Stop by today to check out their giant selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at their state-of-the-art showroom featuring enclosed service drives and a luxurious customer lounge. Get giant savings on hundreds of new and used vehicles in stock. Sayville Ford, the no-fees dealer. Visit online at SayvilleFord.com or download the Sayville Ford app today to learn more. Call 855-917-8737 today.
Have your birthday at the ballpark this season and celebrate with the Flock. Kona Ice birthday party packages with the Long Island Ducks are now available. Each package includes 10 box seats, a commemorative birthday t-shirt, and autographed baseball. Refreshments including hot dogs, chips, cupcakes, frozen ice treats, and so much more. Best of all, the birthday child will stand on the dugout while the entire crowd sings happy birthday. Reserve your party today by calling the group sales department at 631-940-3825. Kona Ice birthday parties with the Long Island Ducks, a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Well, back here one final time in 2018 at Bethpage Ballpark. Not the ending that the Ducks and their fans were hoping for as the Sugarland Skeeters win Game 5 of the Atlantic League Championship Series 4-1. They are the 2018 Atlantic League champions, their 2nd trophy in the past 3 seasons, both coming on September 30th, both coming on this field. It almost seemed like the stars aligned for the Skeeters in that regard tonight. Almost an incredible comeback for the Long Island Ducks. Certainly an incredible incredibly memorable postseason here in the Atlantic League and for the Ducks, but ultimately falls 1 win short.
Yeah, first time in league history that all 3 series go the distance to 5 games, and the Ducks making the finals, Michael, for a 3rd straight year, but losing for a 3rd straight year. So many great things happened, though, over the course of the season. You talk about individual performances. The former Met, Jordani Valdespin, thrilled Duck fans all year long. He was awarded MVP. We got to see Francisco
Ducks to that stage.
And I agree with you, and everybody here today, I'm sure, understands how difficult it is to get to this series. Yes, they wanted the ultimate storybook ending, the rally from 2-0 down to win it. But, Michael, as we talked about during the game, we see a lot of hugs. We see a lot of handshakes. Not only did the Ducks lose, that's sad for the fans, but they know they won't be back together in the sections where they all congregate each and every day. It's just such a community feeling here in the ballpark, and they know right now they won't get to do this again until most likely late April or early May of 2019. The Ducks have always been about community, and just to see so many hugs before everybody takes that final walk out of the park. I know myself, I always turn around and take one last look because the magic that this place has every summer, won't be back until April or May.
It really is a tough feeling. It's one of those where Ducks fans, I'm sure, and those on the staff here will have that kind of empty feeling, like mission unaccomplished at the end of the year. But when you go through the grind of a whole long season, whether it's a player, a staff member, there's so many things that go through it, and at the end you can kind of exhale and just say, okay, now I have to look back on everything that took place. All those memories that you brought about, all those great stories that took place during the course of the season, those are things you absolutely have to be proud of, be happy about. The Ducks, again, were one of the most successful teams in minor league baseball and in professional sports, and to get to this stage of the year is a privilege. And then when you look at things from an Atlantic League perspective, an Atlantic League fan base perspective, to see all 3 playoff series go to a deciding Game 5, to see 2 of those 3 need extra innings to decide it, and to see the Ducks nearly complete a comeback from 2-0 down to win this series, this has to go down as one of the most exciting, dramatic postseasons in league history. This, of course, now the 21st season of Atlantic League baseball, and just incredible what has gone on in the postseason this year. You congratulate all 8 teams that were involved this year, but really the 4 playoff teams, especially the Ducks, the Patriots, the Barnstormers, and of course the Atlantic League champion Sugar Land Skeeters. Just a job well done, and a hat tip to all those players and coaches who gave it their all during this postseason.
Now we have to wonder about the veterans. We talked a little about it during the game. Will Lou Ford be back for a 10th season? Will Dan Lyons return for a 9th? Will John Brownell return for an 8th? Will Cody Puckett return for a 6th? Those are the guys, the familiar faces that fans have come to know and love over the years. They're all getting up there in years. If you look at what Lou Ford did at 42, you say, yes, he's going to be back at 43. I think worst case scenario, if Lou decides he just wants to coach, Brownell decides he just wants to coach, they could be back in that capacity. And Cody Puckett and Dan Lyons would always love another crack at the can, so to speak, and try to leave on their own terms with a championship title under their belt after now coming up just a little short in 3 straight seasons.
It takes a good core of players to get to 6 Atlantic League Championship Series in 8 seasons, and those 4 players and really that core as a whole that's been intact since that 2011 season when it started with Lou Ford and Dan Lyons and then continue to add Brownell and Puckett in recent years. That core has been together. You never know what's going to happen. I'm sure it'll be a while before we have any idea as to whether or not they'll be back for next year. But ultimately, you appreciate what each one of them has done during their time here with the Ducks, what each one of them has done this season. It's been incredible watching them take the field for as many years as we have. You hope that will certainly continue. But, of course, this is baseball. It's a business. You never know what's going to happen. In the end, though, it certainly has been a pleasure watching all those guys take the field, give it their all on a nightly basis. Just from knowing these guys, being around them for a 126-game season and now 10 more postseason games, these guys give it their all every night. It may look like on some nights that the Ducks might not have their best effort, might not be trying very hard. I guarantee you they're giving it their all every night. Every game is important to them. They want to win every single game, and when they don't, it's not a good feeling down there in that clubhouse, and every one of them knows it. So ultimately, it's definitely quiet down there in that clubhouse right now, but I think when they sit back and take a deep breath and look at everything that went on this season, they'll be able to say, wow, this really was a special year here on Long Island, and just so many great things that took place at this ballpark that I think Ducks, players, coaches, staff, and their fans need to be proud of.
And, of course, next year, the 20th anniversary season of Long Island Ducks baseball. I know there will be many nights to celebrate 20 years of great nights in this ballpark. You and I have that to look forward to, and, Michael, I know you have a lot of folks that you would like to say thanks to as well before we close it out here tonight as they're beginning to turn the lights out on us. It might be a sign.
Yes, no, I certainly do, and there's so many people that are involved with this broadcast that help put this together every year. Of course, Ducks founder founder and CEO Frank Bolton, co-owner Seth Waugh, Bud Harrelson, and President General Manager Michael Pfaff. They do a great job letting us bring Ducks baseball to you all year long here on the Long Island Ducks Broadcast Network. Also, a thank you to the folks at Boxcast, Facebook Live, and YouTube for allowing us to bring this platform to you and these games to you on a nightly basis. We've had so many fans that have tuned in during the course of the year. First and foremost, we have to thank the fans because we have had so many that have tuned in all year long, especially here in the Championship Series. We bring these broadcasts to you because of you. You are the reason that we tune in, and we appreciate you sticking with us, tuning in all year long. Of course, a great thank you to our sponsors here on the broadcast and to the Ducks as a whole for all the great jobs that they have done, giving us this opportunity to bring Ducks baseball to you and providing this family fun atmosphere here at Bethpage Ballpark all summer long. And, of course, on a personal note, I want to thank you, Chris King, David Weiss as well, who has joined us in the booth throughout the season, was here for Game 4 of this Atlantic League Championship Series. I know it killed him that he couldn't be here tonight, but certainly great job by both of you as always, as well as to my assistant Dan Doherty, who did a great job on the air in his first season of professional baseball. And also personally just thank you to all the Duck staff members who gave it their all and worked hard tirelessly from many tarp pulls, many long days, early mornings, late nights, all year long to put out this great product. They all have a lot to be proud of.
Michael, I agree with everything you said. You know, there's nowhere I'd rather be than sitting in this booth with you and David and calling Ducks baseball. And the fact that we know come April or May, we can start a 20th anniversary season. It hurts tonight, but you know what? We'll wake up tomorrow saying, wow, I'm looking forward to year number 20 already.
I might take a deep breath for a couple of days and try and maybe catch up on a little bit of sleep, but 100% I'm looking forward to already what should come next year during the 20th anniversary season.
Take us home, Michael.
All right, well, that'll do it once again for us here from Bethpage Ballpark in Central Islip, New York for the final time here in 2018. Once again, the final score tonight, it was the Sugarland Skeeters 4, the Long Island Ducks 1 in Game 5, winner take all. And so the Sugarland Skeeters win the series 3-2, and they are the 2018 Atlantic League champions. Congratulations to the Sugarland Skeeters and their entire organization on a job well done. We invite you to join us for our next Long Island Ducks broadcast, April of 2019, in all likelihood, when the Ducks open up their 20th anniversary season of Ducks baseball here on Long Island. Stay tuned all offseason long on liducks.com for all the news about the 2019 schedule and so much more. Once again, my name is Michael Pollock. For Chris King here in the broadcast booth, David Weiss, Dan Doherty, and everybody else who's joined us all year long, thanks so much for watching. We'll do it all over again in 2019. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and good night. So long from Bethpage Ballpark.